Hey. 16. Cap from the 16 hit with the Bred link, nigga. 16. Motivation. Bitch. Yeah. It get nasty with tie-dye on the knives. No, I've been running. I'm trying to get stashed to the K, yeah. I've been working plus doing illegals. I'm swearing further from a break, yeah. I'm pulling shit on my iPhone, seeing bitch niggas faking plays, yeah. Guess I'm a op, just pull up and hop out the whip and on babies, I'll handle it, yeah. Pull up and squirt the shit, yeah. Pull up and squirt the shit, yeah. I call him my homes, he got the post, but I'm not trying to stir up the violence, yeah. Pull up and squirt the shit, yeah. Pull up and squirt the shit, yeah. If you steady trolling plus acting real kiddish, then I'll be tempted to violate you, yeah. Money on all of my actions, grind for this shit, don't you wait for them taxes. Find you with business right out of them actions, cause all that fuck shit is such a distraction, yeah. Niggas all stuck in their feelings, call that snicker, they think that they gleaming. Talking that tough shit like you with the steamers, I'm with the glickeries, give me a reason, yeah. Y'all be them type of niggas, see a nigga pull up, grab your iPhone, and get to recording while talking that shit while you shoulda hopped out, got your swing on. This be the very reason why I treat you niggas like a peon, I carry on. I got a family member that be running this mouth, watch your boy see the heater strong. See how the game's such a run up. Don't think you can't get a touch up.
Yo, what up, everybody? Obviously, we're doing the same. You know, it's been a while since we've done an episode. I think we missed a week, maybe 2 weeks. Just want to give everybody a heads up that, obviously we have lives outside of the podcast. I'm super duper busy. And also, be on the lookout for video, hopefully this week. My laptop crashed, so having to get that worked on by Apple, and that's a process, so, and it's a lot of money, so definitely getting that done. But I wanted to come real quick and record a little bit prior to our regular show, still a regular show, so this episode might be extra long, but I wanted to talk about Avengers Endgame. Odds are George didn't see it. I haven't asked him, so I wanted to come talk about it because I didn't want to go another week or a few weeks before George even saw the movie. And I'm going to talk about a couple other things too real quick if I have time. But, we appreciate everybody listening on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We'll be back in a little while. So, no, don't forget about us. I obviously appreciate everybody on Instagram, Twitter, and everybody who tags us, tweets us, adds us, DMs us, and all that. We just appreciate the interaction that we have with people who support the show. The show isn't something that is easy to do. It's hard to find the time, especially with family and kids and whatnot. But, me and George make it happen. So, giving you a heads up, if you're listening to this podcast right now, this is going to be about Endgame for about 20 minutes, okay? And I need everybody to understand this about Endgame. And shout out to the homie Yuri. Me and him had a little back and forth. I need people to understand that Endgame was phenomenal. The movie was phenomenal, but there were certain things that I expected to see that I didn't see. There were also things that I just had my own in my mind, what I expected to see. I expected to see a different plot. I did expect them to go back in time, which they did, but I thought they spent way too much time going back in time traveling or whatever. I definitely will say, like I said, the movie was great. Infinity War is still a million times better. And yes, you can argue that a lot of the stuff in Infinity War we saw first was a surprise first. Thanos wasn't a surprise in this, which was kind of my whole thing. I felt like, and I'm giving an overview, I am not, and people, it's perfectly fine to critique things that are fire. Which brings me later on in this, my Bred 4 review. It's perfectly fine to have a little gripe or a misunderstanding or like didn't understand or a little criticism about something that you did love, did like. So in Endgame, I will say this, and this is my own, making my own theories and stuff like that. I felt like in Infinity War, they really played up on the fact of Thanos making the point to say that what he's doing is a benefit to them. It's helping them. I felt like that was stated more than a few times in Infinity War, and I felt like that was going to be really played up in Endgame. Now, obviously, this is the last of, I guess, Phase 3 is what they're calling it. And Phase 4 is going to be, a few more Black Panthers, and a couple other new movies. I will tell you this. I expected a Galactus Thanos interaction somehow. If not an interaction, at least Galactus getting brought up. I thought that there would be a conversation or an understanding. This is my own personal theory. I haven't watched a single theory. I haven't watched anything. I expected it to somehow make, in a way, Thanos some type of like anti-hero, and the Avengers were just going to have to be dealt with because they are trying to stop the inevitable and what's needed. I expected Galactus I expected it to somehow play out that Thanos was saving us from Galactus, that what he was doing was to avoid Earth itself being destroyed. Galactus is known as the destroyer of planets or whatever it is. So I expected something. I also expected a Galactus appearance or brought up or mentioned because of the next phase of movies or whatever the future holds for Marvel. At some point, you have to have Galactus in it. And a lot of people think that, these Fantastic Four movies have been awful in the past, in which they have. I thought the last one wasn't as bad, but, it had its weird moments. But Galactus is one of the main enemies involved with the Fantastic Four, as well as Silver Surfer. So I thought in order for them to set up the next phase of movies or whatever new iterations or revamps they had for other Marvel movies, Endgame was going to set that up. It didn't, and that's fine. But I did expect some sort of Galactus interaction between Thanos, sort of tie in and bring in the new future of Marvel movies. I will also say that for Thanos, I expected during the periods of time where they're time traveling and they're kind of showing the past of Thanos or however else, whatever, I expected a lot more background with Thanos. We got a good amount of background with Thanos in Infinity War, but it visually wasn't showed. It showed the one part where they were on Gamora's home planet or whatever, and the execution of like half the population or whatnot that took place. I kind of expected to see a little bit more of that visually. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of interaction of Thanos with Gamora, and there was parts in there. It was a good amount, but I wanted to see a little bit more. I wanted to see the understanding and at what point did Gamora and Nebula really always butt heads, and the reasons for Thanos and Nebula's relationship to be the way it was. Also, just him going to planet doing what he does. Captain Marvel in the movie explained, that there were thousands of other planets that were dealing with the exact same thing with Earth. I think it'd be a little dope to see that, a little bit of that, somewhat of that on another planet, and get an understanding of the magnitude of it. Now, when I say the magnitude of it, the movie started off exactly like I thought. When they showed the very first trailer or whatever part of Hawkeye shooting the bow and arrow with his daughter and the family out there, I knew for a fact that was going to be the opening scene and they were going to vanish. You could just feel it. Perfect way to start the movie. I thought it took a comedic turn kind of quickly. It went a little quick and it kind of didn't stop. Like there were certain areas where it was like, okay, this is where we're going to insert comedy, and it just kept going and going. Going back to the comedy, I'll get to that a little bit later. At that point, now we all knew, if you're familiar a little bit, I'm not a comic book head, but I'm familiar somewhat with Hawkeye, becoming Ronin, and we all knew the reason why in the movie. But I kind of wanted it to be a conversation between him and Black Widow. Their relationship we've watched throughout the years, and I felt like this movie missed a real heart-to-heart conversation. Now, when they were on Volmir to go get the Soul Stone, they had, a moment, but a conversation was missing, especially considering he wasn't in Infinity Game. I wanted like a real understanding of why he became Ronin, how when they vanished, his family, what took place. Like, I wanted to get really in depth. And this is my own selfish wanting more entertainment and more feeling and more something into it. But that was just me. It was completely understood why and what was taking place and why he was running. But I wanted a little bit more. Captain Marvel, considering, I will tell you this, and if you decide to listen to this without even seeing Endgame yet or whatever, and I think most people will confirm that who saw Endgame, you didn't have to see Captain Marvel to before you saw Endgame. I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, and my goal was to see it before going to see Endgame, but it wasn't needed. When I realized, okay, I have no time to see Captain Marvel, I went on YouTube, watched a 15-minute video of everything you need to know about Captain Marvel prior to watching Endgame, and 99% of it had nothing to do with Endgame. The only thing you need to know is basically how she kind of became the most powerful Avenger, and that's pretty much it. She's just the most powerful, and she is off the hook and somebody not to be reckoned with. That's all you need to know. In Endgame, she was fine, but her parts were minimal. I think a total in the movie, she might have been in it 4 minutes max, and I think I might be overstating that. And yes, and people, when I'm talking about the movie, I'm discussing what I wanted to see, not why this didn't happen. Yes, she explained that she was busy taking care of other planets. I get it. But I'm saying I'm going back thinking what I wanted from the beginning of writing. I wanted her to be in it a lot more interaction. She felt like the new girl the entire time, even though she was, but she never got acclimated or equated to anybody. The one person that she was really connected to, Nick Fury, he wasn't in the movie. He didn't show up until the very, very end of the movie. So that was a little bit of something, and obviously she had a great scene at the end with the battle, taking out Thanos's battleship single-handedly. I also, so going back to the humor, there were moments early on prior to when they went back to go get Thor. That was little parts here and there, with Rocket, but that's always been his MO, little quips, smart mouth. So it was fine at that point. But when they went to go get Thor, it was like, that's funny. Okay, cool. Drinking beer, he's drunk, he's fat. Obviously with Thanos being one of the, better looking, parts of the movie to women, whatever. I felt like the way it set it up, the entire movie, I was waiting for him not to be fat anymore. I was like waiting for like when it's about to go down, some lightning strike him and he be back cut and be back good as new. Never happened. Like, he was fat the entire movie, and the whole Lebowski outfit. Now look, this might be one of the few times in Marvel where they stuck to the comic books. I'm not aware of this, but it was just kind of corny. It's like, and I get hard times and he was down or whatever, but him with the sweats and the sweatsuits, he was dressed like a New York mobster. Like, he looked like, the enforcer for the mob. He had like a velour suit on and sunglasses, and it was dirty and drinking beer. And then the scene where him and Rocket went back to Asgard in 2003. I don't know what year it was. That sounds way too early. When they went back and they were trying to retrieve the Reality Stone, I believe, out of Natalie Portman, whatever her name is in the movie, they were having a back and forth about him being nervous and scared and what if he can't do it. That lasted way too long. Now, it was funny when Rocket slapped him in the face, but it just lasted too long. It was like, come on, man, like, get through this. Like I was saying, I thought they spent way too much time traveling through time. Now, that's cool. The other part about the traveling time was when they went back to 2000, whatever it was, and they were back in the original Avengers, and the whole scepter and the, trying to retrieve the scepter to get the Power Stone, which I can't remember whichever stone they were trying to retrieve. And that was Tony and Captain America taking care of that. and Ant-Man, I believe. Ant-Man as well. And then they showed them getting on the elevator from Avengers 1. They made the Incredible Hulk take the stairs. They retrieved the stone or the scepter, whatever. And then Hulk comes busting out of the stairs, knocks it out of future Tony Stark's hands. And then Loki picks it up and vanishes with it. I'm sitting there like, what? That's how you lost it? Now, if Loki would have escaped or somehow snuck it or some magic or some wizardry, whatever, okay, cool. I get that. But being knocked out because Hulk was angry from taking the stairs and being knocked out of your hand, and that's how you lost it, and now you had to go, and then they had to go further back in time. Now they had to go back to Captain America's era. Now, a lot of this was like kind of giving you some insight, you know, to the past. And it was like seeing behind the scenes of the past. And I get it, but I felt like it tied up some loose ends that we weren't hung on. The entire part with Tony and his father, it was cool, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't resolution that I was looking for. Like if Endgame had ended and that was it, I wouldn't be sitting here saying, man, I wish Tony could have got the opportunity to, you know, whatever with his father. Completely irrelevant to me. It was fine. It made it who he was. And I think that was something that could have just been done on the knowledge of us. Like an explanation about Hawkeye and Ronan and what he's been doing since Infinity War was more valuable than that. And I get the heart-to-heart, trying to get the feeling and stuff. Once again, this isn't saying the movie was bad. There were just parts that I was like, it is what it is. Especially for a 3-hour movie, a lot more could have been added into this. But that was just one of the aspects. Also with Infinity War. Now, Hulk being scared, confused, worried, whatever, all right? Whatever it is, okay? I got a lashing from Yuri. Shout out to Yuri. That's the homie. He's going to come on the show one day. He's a super funny dude, but I don't know why he's taking his sweet time coming up to the show. Knows his sneakers, knows his movies, knows everything. He's a good dude. Whatever Hulk was, scared, worried, whatever it was, in Infinity War, it felt like a setup to a Hulk getting his act together battle in Endgame. Hulk never laid a finger on Thanos in Endgame one time. He never... I don't remember even seeing him fighting in the big battle. Now, granted, like I said, not that I don't know why he didn't in the movie. I'm saying I wish from the get-go of filming the movie and writing, a Thanos-Hulk battle will take place. I didn't particularly care for the now he's Hulk all the time. Probably a comic book thing, which I'm not aware of, but it was a little cheesy. You know, and then the part where like the kids wanted to take a selfie with them. It was like, yo, the world is at the brink. Like population is cut. Like we are devastated. And there was just too many corny things. I'm not saying I wanted the movie to be dark, but there were some cheesy aspects to it. The beginning of the movie was really, you know, intense and set the tone. You know, Tony's upset at Captain America, his speech on how he's angry and how the captain let him down. Loved all that. But there were a lot of comedic, like off time type things and just cheesy dialogue. Even when War Machine, Don Cheadle, you know, we about that hero life to Captain America. It's just, to me, it's corny to me. But I really expected, I didn't expect the Hulk to beat Thanos, but I expected a brawl. Like I'm talking a fisticuffs brawl, a beat down. Anybody else, Captain Marvel could have came in and finished him off, whatever, but I expected a Hulk, Thanos, hand-to-hand combat that would be epic. It didn't happen. So the whole thing with him being basically non-existent in Infinity War was like, why? Okay, well, whatever. And especially considering that I don't think they're making any more Hulk movies. I think Hulk might appear in other movies, but from what I heard, there's not going to be any more solo Hulk movies. Another thing was when he put the gauntlet on. Now, I don't know why in the comics he turned or why there was a red Hulk, But when he's wearing the Iron Man version of the gauntlet and he has the stones and he says he was made for this because he could survive snapping the fingers, which, let's go back to that. Thanos in the beginning, when they went to go visit Thanos and they cut his head off, Thanos was half burnt, his arm, his face, and all that. He said that he used the stones to destroy the stones and it almost killed him. Cool. Now, maybe I missed something in the movie, but I didn't understand why when they made a gauntlet version, they got the stones and snapped, why it took, like, it burnt the crap out of the Hulk. Because when Thanos first did that in Infinity War, his body wasn't burnt in half. The glove was destroyed, but his face and arm and stuff wasn't burnt up. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I don't know. Please fill me in. All right. And fill me in respectively. You don't got to be like, yo, you're a moron. You're a moron. You know nothing. You're right. I don't. I watched every single Marvel movie billions of times. That's what I know. I didn't go back and read comic 14, whatever. You can see his arm turning red when he put the Iron Man gauntlet on the thing. I was like, oh, he's about to turn the Red Hulk and it's about to go down. It didn't happen. He just got burnt. And that was it for him in the movie. He got half his body burnt. That was it. I wanted somebody to die again at the hand of Thanos. A lot of people, I won't say they underestimated, but it was one thing for Scarlet in Infinity War to destroy the stone and Vision die. But it's another thing for Thanos to be like, nah, reverse time and then kill him at his hand. That moment when he didn't like just use his fingers and take the stone out of Vision's head. He put his fingers into his head and ripped that joint out. Okay, and threw his body. He didn't lay him down. He didn't let him tumble. He threw Vision to the side. I mean, get the heck out of here. Vision was gray. I expected somebody to die at the hands of Thanos during battle. Captain America, somebody. I preferred to be Captain America only because I thought that would have been better than the ending of Captain America. But I expected it. I did. And it didn't happen. You know, we got a good battle. Got a good, fight, with him and Captain America and Thanos and all that. And the whole Thor fighting while fat must be a comic book thing. I was like, come on, man. Come on. And I wasn't a fan of now Captain America tossing the hammer around. Probably a comic book thing. And I get it was playing back to Age of Ultron and the whole point where they're trying to pick up the hammer and Captain America was the only one to move it and the whole you must be worthy thing. But all of a sudden now the hammer was his. Like he had a shield and a hammer. And Thor at one point they had switched. Captain America was holding an axe and he was holding the hammer and he was like, no, you get the small one. I'm like, oh, is this his now? Like, this is his hammer? He even went back in time to put the stones back to where they came from and he had the hammer with him. I'm like, yo, so is this now Captain America's? Anyways, maybe something I'm unaware of. I didn't care for that much. But the movie was fire. Don't get me wrong. And at the end, Tony dying, loved it. I kind of thought it was a little whack. Like, he kind of pickpocketed the stones from Thanos. I think now you can foreshadow and say, oh, obviously with the Iron Man gauntlet, he, put some type of fail-safe into it to where he could get him. You can say all that if you want, fine. I've never been that person like, obviously this is why. Certain moments in movies, yes, but that one's a little different. Especially considering when they were trying to take the entire gauntlet off of Thanos in Infinity War and they had that plan when they were on Titan and it seemed to be working. I'm like, why didn't y'all steal the stones then? Now look, I know it's writing and it's not real, but I was like, that's it? Pickpocketed the stones in like less than 3 seconds and put them on your hand that quick and that was it? okay, that's fine. I felt like, considering how major Doctor Strange was in Infinity War, I expected another Strange Thanos battle. I feel like a lot of people got gypped. And I get that there was a war going on, but the Infinity War made Thanos, now he didn't have the gauntlet, but Thanos is Thanos. So I expected everybody to have a battle with him at some point, like a battle, a hand-to-hand fisticuffs with him at some point. Didn't happen, but I get it. Other than that, the movie was phenomenal. And I wanted to come here and just kind of give my little 2 cents about it. I saw the movie multiple times this weekend. And when the movie comes out on DVD or TV, direct TV, whatever, I will watch it a million times again. The movie is that good. I love the movie. Just because I had a little meh parts doesn't mean I don't love it. Phenomenal movie. So, Avenger talk is over. I want to talk about the Black Cement 4 real quick. Obviously, we appreciate everybody who listens to the podcast. We appreciate everybody who supports. We appreciate everybody who follow us, like, subscribe. Whatever you listen to us on, subscribe. Black Cement 4s. So those come out this weekend. And I already have my pair from the Shock Drop Off sneakers. And I just wanted to kind of address the shoe itself. And I meant to bring it. I forgot. It's kind of a crazy day. The shoe itself, another reminder, it's okay to criticize something that you love. I've criticized this Cement 4. Could be my pair. My pair is a little weird. It's a little off. Now, I've never owned a pair of Black Cement 4s. I've owned pretty much all the other 4s, all the ones that matter. That's how I'll put it. But the quality on these ones are blatant. It's not even a question. Now, let me give you the definition. I've had a lot of different terms for sneakerheads. You got thought sneakerhead, you got get your life together sneakerhead, you got Republican sneakerhead, you got big city sneakerhead. There's a lot of versions of sneakerheads that I got. And if you would love the definition of all those, please feel free to ask. I might one day just give a definition list of all the type of sneakerheads. But let me explain to me the definition of an OG sneakerhead. I consider myself an OG sneakerhead. I consider myself an OG sneakerhead because I've actually had the original OGs of a lot of sneakers, and I've been involved in sneakers ever since. Might have been a break or two in college, here and there, but I've always been involved in sneakers from here and there. An OG sneakerhead to me, you might as well call it a seen it all sneakerhead. I've seen all the Cement 4s. I've held all the Cement 4s. I've looked at all the Cement 4s. I know and remember and fully qualified and understand they're better quality. Everything about those past 4s are way better than this one. Period. Even the CDP pack. 100% better than these ones. Areas of this are thin. The pieces are a little off. The shape is a little off. They don't seem like the right height. The tongue is extremely high. The tab is thin. The swoosh off-centered stuff, I don't know. I'm not out here paying attention to a lot of that stuff. But these are considerably different. A seen it all sneakerhead, an OG sneakerhead, you can critique this stuff if you've seen a lot of these. I want a second pair of these. Now, there are some people, shout out to Mr. Red King, shout out to Sneakers and Up, homies. They're like, take them back. You won't take them back? You're goddamn right. I'm not taking them back. I can't. Not that I can't because I can't get another pair. It's not a take them back and you get another one. People forget how iconic Jordans are. Jordans are still Jordans. OG Jordans are still OG Jordans. So I can criticize all I want, but no, I will not take an OG back because I just can't go. Well, I'll get the next one. Then the next time an OG 4 might come out, I might be in my early 40s. I'm telling you, I'm old, all right? So you can't take that risk. You can criticize something if you know better. Doesn't mean I hate it. I want a second pair. And if my second pair is of trash quality as my first pair, then I get it. That's where the term that I coined, that we share with you every single week, every other week, they suck, but they don't suck. They suck, but they don't suck. I want another pair. They're fire. Perfectly fine to criticize those and perfectly fine to understand them and perfectly fine to want better. Jordan Brand isn't listening to us and giving us better. That whole remastered stuff, stop it. It's nonsense. It's to make you feel good. It's to make you think. It's to make you go out and cop. You get it and you be like, but you ain't taking it back. You're keeping it. It's still a Jordan. We're talking about an OG Jordan 4 black cement. You can't take that back. But you can look at it and say, what? But you can't take that back. I understand that. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm glad I got them, and I'm buying another pair because I've worn mine to the ground. I beat them. Another thing I want to talk about, LeBron 15s, LeBron 16s. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I think LeBron 15s and 16s might be the first sneaker in history that made itself whack. That's not easy to do. We've talked about it previously on other episodes. I've talked about this before, that LeBrons are corny with the sneaker watch. LeBron's this past week or the week before on a Thursday dropped another Atmos clear jade, which is supposed to be like a remnant of like the elephant print Air Max 1 LeBron 16. Let me explain to you why. Okay, let me say some names. Let me explain to you why. I'm just going to say these colorways first and these names. And this to me should be enough to explain why I hate on the LeBron 15. I think the LeBron 15s are fire sneaker wise, but now they're corny. LeBron 16s are one of the best LeBrons in the last, I don't know how many years, since LeBron 9s. Okay, facts. But it's like, yo, come on, man. Where's the creativity? We're talking about the legacy of one of the greatest players of all time, sneaker-wise. We're talking about that sneaker-wise legacy. There's nothing of anything of LeBron 16 that's going to go down in history. There's not a LeBron 15 that's going to go down in history. You have to think about a pair, a colorway that will go down in history. You have to think about that in terms of colorways. There are no sneaker models these days that'll be going down in history, like the Jordans 1 through 14. Well, whichever ones you like better or least, those are all history. In the LeBron saga, 1s, some will say 2s, 9s. There's a few that I feel like, oh, okay, those are it. Those are LeBrons of history, South Beach 8s, things like that. Let me read some of these colorways of LeBrons from the past that we haven't seen yet because they're too busy trying to take the colorways of other historical sneakers that we respect greatly. South Beach, Floridians, Denims, Christmas. I'm saying Christmas because probably majority of the LeBron sneakers are probably some of the greatest Christmas sneakers of all time, basketball wise. Facts. You can go back through all the LeBrons. Christmas versions of LeBrons could be coined as the best colorway in the entire model. Cannons, Entourage, Sprite, Solar Reds, Dunkman, Free Gums, Cutting Jade, LeBronold Palmers, Miami Nights, Summit Lake, Red Carpet, China's, Crown Jewels. Those are just some of the few colorways that were originals in the LeBron line. We're not seeing any of that. We're not even, fine, you don't want to make Laker team colors? Whatever. All right, fine. You want to abandon making Laker team colors or team color sneakers? Fine. But we're talking about somebody who was winding down their career. In this model, being a great model that it is, can we get something that represents Cleveland? Can we get something that represents your time in Florida? Now, some of these colorways you might see played out. South Beach might be played out, but I feel like a South Beach model needs to be on a LeBron sneaker forever. The South Beach colorway is historic. Like, I'm talking about an era where a shoe that was pretty equivalent to a Timberland boot was reign supreme in resale, was a must-have. I had them. And that's it? You just stop? You don't figure out a way to make a better version or a doper version? Well, he's not in Florida anymore. He's not in Miami. It's still a part of his history and legacy. We got Jordan out here making sneakers that represent the neighborhood and the street that he lived on in North Carolina. So you can't tell me LeBron doesn't have that. Where's the Summit Lakes? Summit Lakes are my favorite, but come on. It's a part of the history of the LeBron line. To me, they're supposed to be getting better. Where's the Miami Knights? Where's the Miami Knights at? No, we got Atmos Safaris. We have Air Max 95 versions of LeBrons. We got Medicine Ball, Bo Jackson LeBrons. Yo, where are the creatives at? It's easy to take somebody else. Don't touch the history of somebody else to try to make your own history. These Yeezy 15s that have been circulating and came out in the last week or two, I'm looking at you in the camera. Hopefully we get video up this week. I hope I get my laptop back. I'm telling you, when you do a podcast, a laptop is like a child. Like I feel lost. Like I feel like going under the covers. Like I remember seeing anyways. Yeezy LeBron 15s are awful. Okay, they look like a bad Nike ID. You remember that period in time when Nike ID allowed you to use those colorways and everybody made a Yeezy everything? We don't need that anymore. Stop it. Don't drop those. Don't release them. They're awful. If you want to have that for your personal collection, cool. But people saying, yo, these are fire, these are killing it, you're absolutely nuts. There are GR versions of the LeBron 15 that blow those out of the water. People need to show mad respect for the Yeezy colorways. We talked about it during the 10-year anniversary of the Yeezy 1. Those colorways are cemented historic. You can't combine those colors anymore without it being called or considered or looked at as a version of Yeezy, period. But we don't need it now, and you still shouldn't be clamoring over it. You shouldn't. And the shoe doesn't look like, yes, it's the colors of Yeezy, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't have any other elements to it. Like, it's nothing to it. Like, it's just tan, gray strap, glow-in-the-dark bottom, and pink insole. Like, come on. Sneakerheads are much better than that, and I expect sneakerheads to, like, look at that and say, that's cool, but come on. Fire, must have, flames everywhere. Stop it. They cool. That's all that needs to be said. But I'm sorry. A Miami Knights, something fire. They could have came up with something. A Miami Knights, a South Beach 16, a Sprite, a Solar Red 16. Come on. You have to extend the life of the legacy LeBron created colorway-wise throughout the years. You have to. You have to keep it going. You can't switch it up and abandon it. You can't abandon all these for something else. Like, this season is over for LeBron. So that means it's pretty much over for 16. You'll probably get like 3 more colorways in the 16 maybe, and that's it. And then you'll be looking for the LeBron 17. You know, pictures will surface soon around summertime of LeBron 17s. I don't want another LeBron watch for the 17s. I don't need a leopard safari animal LeBron 17. I don't need a whatever. I don't need it. I don't need a skunk SB Dunk 17. I need a LeBron 17 in a South Beach. I need something to say, this colorway is legacy. This colorway is forever. You got 3-4 years left. Come on. Get it together. That's it, everybody. I just wanted to lay that down real quick. George and I, back in a second. All right, let's do this. Yo, Stick This Podcast. George, Greg, back in the building. I know you guys missed us, fam. What is this, episode 155?
I think so. Like I would know.
It's been a while. Actually, we only missed 1 week, right? I feel like we missed about a month. Obviously, appreciate everybody who listens to the podcast. iTunes, Spotify. We appreciate YouTube. Computer's down, but hopefully I get the computer back this week at the end of the week, hopefully, and I can put video back up. So we're still recording video as we talk, but it won't be up as soon as possible. So hopefully no later than Sunday, Saturday, whichever. But we appreciate everybody who comments, DM, hits us up, whatever you listen to us on. Review, subscribe, share, like. Send us your gripes. Send us what you like, your hot takes, whatever you got. Like I said, we do appreciate everybody who supports the podcast, and we'll get back to recording more regularly. The studio was on some bullshit, and we're busy, and things happen, but it's just the way it is. George, Nashville, That's how long it's been. You went to another state.
You was about to say another country.
I almost said another country.
Nashville's not in another country. It might feel like a different country than Southern California.
Nashville.
But
You didn't even say you was going to Nashville.
yes, I did. I mean, maybe
You said you were going out of town, but you didn't say Nashville.
Probably just Hannah's birthday more than anything, and the fact that she flies for free. So we're just trying to go to as many cities as possible that we've never been to. Nashville, dope. Nashville might be one of the dopest cities I've ever been to. Period.
Y'all went the wrong period. You should have done the NFL draft.
Can't, bro. You see that chaos on Broadway, though?
Bro,
I would have been scrapping everybody.
Somebody said there was 600,000 there.
The street was packed all the way from the end of the street. So where the stage was is the very end of the street.
I don't even understand what the people in the very back thought they were doing.
To like where the hockey stadium's at.
That looked crazy. All right.
Nah, I would have fought somebody.
For what? Chris went.
Just because I don't like when being around that many people. You already know that.
Okay. You go to.
You act like you don't know that.
You go to a lot of stuff. You go a lot more stuff than me that involves crowds.
Not like that. That's like sardine can stuff. I'm not talking about like you go to a game and you have a seat, and someone next to you has a seat, and someone next to you has a seat. That's not what I'm talking about.
That looked like a
Cats was packed.
Nashville looks like a pretty peaceful place. All right. It looks like it was pretty nice there. I was surprised that
I don't
Cats
know how
actually.
you could tell that. Looking at the NFL draft.
I think of Texas like that. Texas is like peaceful like that. It just looked peaceful. Huh? I didn't see nobody moving weird.
Sure, Houston got the same murder rate LA got.
No,
New York.
Houston don't got the same murder rate as LA. Houston.
I'm gonna laugh when somebody who's from Houston comes on here.
No, because the reason LA's murder rate is way higher because they're packed like sardines. Like it's a different situation. Spread out.
You actually tripping though.
Houston, Texas has about the same amount of crime and homicides we do.
Fifth ward, third ward, fam.
That's what New Orleans. All right.
That's in Houston too.
New Orleans, their murder rate is way higher than.
I guarantee you Houston's is very similar to other big cities, not including Chicago, because Chicago blows everyone out of the water.
I don't know if Houston's considered a top 10 major city.
Oh, man,
I don't think so.
Big, fam.
I don't think it's a top 10 major city, though. It's not bigger than Dallas.
Pause.
How was Nashville? It was crazy that people could look at the pictures that I posted at Hannah. And shout out to Hannah for sending pictures. If it wasn't for Hannah, we'd have no idea you was out of town. Or you were sneakers.
All right.
I'd have no idea. I had no idea you were gone.
Most of the time, Hannah is literally like, okay, stand right there. I'll take a picture and send it to Greg. It's not like she's doing it like, well, I don't know about it.
You ain't paying attention.
Sometimes.
Well, shout out to Hannah for the picture. It made me think like, man, maybe I need to like post a full body picture or something.
All right.
I don't know.
You need to fly to Nashville just to do that.
How about you out there styling and profiling? I'm like, yo, where you got this gear from? George out there with European jean cuts. I'm like, yo, George out there fitted. Somebody was like, yo, fam, George be fitted. And I was like, look, man, hit him up. Hit him in the DMs.
One shirt that I own.
I hear they was all right. Wearing some hitters too. You never wear any of them sneakers out here. Only out of town.
That's not true.
You never wear Air Max 97s.
Because I don't send you a picture of it doesn't mean it's not happening.
When do you wear Air Max?
Matter of fact,
97s?
I sent you a picture. The only time I've ever worn Weatherspoons was in Arizona. Once or twice. Can't
was
remember.
that? No, that wasn't Arizona. You sent the picture of that.
Yeah, and it was literally going to like watching a boxing match at the bar or something.
I thought it was like Easter or something.
Nope.
Oh.
And what else? Send you a picture the other day of something.
Do y'all know people out there?
Her cousin lives there. Two people we know that live there weren't in town, ironically, but yeah, her cousin lives there, and then I know somebody who lives there who's a musician, which that's the only thing. Only way it makes sense to live in Nashville is if you're a musician or like your company asks you to move there.
You just said it was a great place.
It is, but like, have you heard of anything? Like the only thing that I know of that's in Nashville is Nissan.
Nissan's in Nashville? I thought it was in Japan.
Oh, right.
Actually, I thought it was in Georgia.
I need you to chill.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know that was in Nashville.
The name of the Titan Stadium is Nissan Stadium. The whole.
I didn't know that.
And the hockey arena is Bridgestone, so obviously there's like a Bridgestone thing there. That's the only things I know of Nashville.
Know that either.
And music, Nissan, and Bridgestone.
You got a good barbecue. Did you eat barbecue?
Yeah.
She sent a picture of some music and said it was hot. Some hot chicken or something.
Oh yeah, Hattie B's. They have one in Vegas inside Cosmo, and I saw it last time I was there, and I was like, that name sounds familiar, but I don't know where it's from.
Y'all are some worldly people, though.
They have other... Bruh, when in Cosmo, that little area they built with all the restaurants, what they did is they just got all those trendy restaurants from different areas and told them to come put one there. Like, they got one from New Orleans, District Donuts, fire. They got Hattie B's, they got some burger place. It's like all those places that are, when you go somewhere, the locals are like, oh, you got to go eat there. All those places are like inside Cosmo. It's crazy. I have no idea how they made that happen.
So what y'all do? Just hang out?
Watch music.
Watch music. It was on every corner.
Pretty much. Watch live music. Do a distillery tour.
Of what?
Whiskey.
What company?
Nelson Greenbrier. Probably no one out here knows about it because it just restarted back up. Supposedly it's the 5th oldest distillery in Tennessee, but the company's like around World War II, I think the company ceased to exist. And then like the great-great-grandsons or something just ironically figured out that they were related to the guy and restarted it in 2006 or something. Or no, 2014. 2006 is when they started trying to do it, and it took them that long to get the patents and like. So I think the distillery we visited was open in 2014, but they had been distilling something in Indiana or something.
Only rich people could do stuff like that. Find out that their great-great-grandfather is a whiskey maker and be like, let's start the factory back up.
All right. I don't think it was quite that
Like
easy.
Indiana Jones. Like they found it and blew dust
Yes. Yeah, they just was sitting there.
They pulled a lever.
It's in a different city, you freak.
They pulled a lever and like everything started brewing. Everything started going like a factory. They let you taste liquor and stuff like that on tours. Like I never been on a liquor tour. Oh, I always wanted to like go in there and taste test.
I mean, it's reasonable too because I think it was only like $12, and then the stuff they let you taste, like one of the bottles was like $120. And if you ask for more, they'll give you more. I mean, I don't think their goal is to get you drunk, but
do you get to swallow it? Pause.
Right? Yes.
I saw a wine thing. I went to a wine.
They had
saw a wine
spittoons
thing.
or whatever there, but you don't get to spit in it. You just drink whatever you want to drink. If you don't want the rest, you just pour it in there. He was like, if you spit in that, I'll kill you.
Ain't the spittoon, but like you spit the tobacco and.
Yeah.
I hate that.
That's what it's called.
A cartoon. It was like Tom, like. What else I do? That was it. What's that store you went to? You said Rooted.
There's only one store there. Oh yeah. By the way, the dude from Rooted, the manager, told him we would have him on the show at some point. And Hannah said he has his own podcast. Or
Hannah sent me a picture of the thing, and I went to the page. I'm like, yo, you got a podcast too? I'm like, man, who doesn't got a sneaker podcast?
I mean, I don't know if it's about sneakers though. Is it about sneakers?
Podcast,
yeah. But he said they're the only store in the state that got the Yeezy Clay. So I mean, I assume they're the only store in the state that gets any of that stuff.
Is that the only Rooted?
Yeah, they only got one. But the dude is originally from.
It looks like they only sold like Vans and stuff.
He said he was born in like upstate New York, but then he lived in Richmond, so he knows Sean Witherspoon or something. So that's why I just was talking to him. So his story or whatever sounded interesting. That's why I said we get.
That was the owner you were talking to, or like just
store manager? Or something. I got his card at the house, but. So he said he's known Sean Witherspoon. I mean, I don't know if they're still friends or if they ever were friends or buddies or whatever, but they know of each other, and he's known them since before they started round 2, whatever. So
they get SBs. Oh, okay. I need somebody. What about Jordan 1s?
I mean, they got Jordans, so I assume.
Oh. I want to get them Jordan 1 SBs.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll get that. I mean, they're not. I don't know how accurate the list for Travis Scott's are, but they're not on that Travis Scott list. So
you got to hit up your one.
Yes, 5 years later.
Whatever. What was that store called? Heritage. I can't remember what state it was in. You got to hit him up like, yo.
Shout out OG Man in Wisconsin.
I was looking through my phone and was like, yo, let me go hit him up. Can't remember his name. Corey?
Derek.
So that was it?
Yeah, just did. I mean,
you buy anything?
Normally we go anywhere. Nah, Hannah's the one who buys stuff. She bought a hoodie.
From that store?
Yeah, from Rooted. Just like a black hoodie. Obviously can't wear it right now.
Place like that. Because it'd be blazing here. It must be super cheap, dude.
That whatever color it is, purplish, whatever hoodie that she got from Sneaker Politics might be the most worn thing in her. It's different for girls. They don't care. They can wear sweatshirts when it's like a time that we wouldn't wear a sweatshirt. It's weird.
I'll admit, last summer I did wear a couple sweaters for some odd reason and a jacket. I don't even know why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you wore a jacket to work every day.
No, I don't.
Friday, yes, you did.
Oh, I did, but it wasn't hot. It was like room temperature.
Yeah, but right.
It was like 84. That's the room temperature. What else cool, man? I didn't do nothing. Saw Avengers multiple times. I won't talk about it. I already did talk about it. So if you decide to listen to the podcast this week,
splice it in right here.
if you decide to listen to the podcast, don't listen to the first like 15 minutes.
You already posted it up.
Don't listen to the first 15 minutes because I did talk about it. I'll tell you this though. As many questions that you had about Infinity War or gripes, I don't know what you're going to think about this one though, because Infinity War was flawless. All right. And you had a million things. You just couldn't believe they were trying to take that gauntlet off his hand.
If you tell me that's how they won at the end, I'm gonna be heated up.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that's how they won. But the fact that you was just like, yo, they trying to take that glove off his hand. Look, you gotta watch it. First of all, are you gonna watch it?
He's from the planet Titan. He's supposed to be a Titan, and you telling me that you could put him to sleep and take his glove off? No?
Are you gonna watch it?
Of course I am. I gotta see Captain Marvel first.
No, you don't have to. I'll tell you that. You don't have to.
Well, supposedly Captain Marvel was filmed after Avengers was filmed, but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like you don't have to. Trust me. Like when I was like, crap, I didn't got time to see it. I went on YouTube and watched like everything you need to know about Captain Marvel before you watch it. You don't need to. Trust me.
Oh, you wildin', bro.
No,
you watched that before you watch that movie?
Yeah, don't even worry. I'll see Captain Marvel when he gets on Fire Stick. Don't worry. I'm telling you, don't bother with it. You won't. All right. Nope. Then you're never gonna see it. Then you're never gonna see Endgame. Then I'm definitely watching John Wick though.
That's what you said about the other one.
I saw another preview.
I watched all of them.
I saw another preview of John Wick. There's a scene where like he busting guns and then the dog jump over something and bite somebody like in the neck. The dog is with it too. The dog look like a wolf. Either way,
from episode number 1. He probably got a bulletproof vest on. Huh?
I can't wait.
Oh no, sorry. What is it called? Tactical. How would you like your suit cut, sir? Tactical.
I need a John Wick suit too. Even though it's just black, I need a John Wick suit. Pickups. Got any pickups?
Be the only one in theater laughing at the movie, though. That's all you need to know.
Oh, weird person, bro. John Wick is awesome, but it ain't something to laugh at.
Yes, it is.
All right.
When you fight 27 people and all of them are headshots and you just karate chopping people, that stuff is funny, though. Death scenes are funny. I don't know. I don't understand why you don't think it's funny.
First of all, I ain't never seen John Wick karate chop anybody.
John Wick is an expert in hand-to-hand combat. Pause.
I didn't see him karate chop anybody.
Okay.
Although that when he was fighting Common, that was a fight. All right. And that was what? Stop it.
Bro, you make it seem like you see.
And I hope Common is in this
YouTube and was for real. Common died in that episode.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He stabbed him in just the right place, and he said, if you don't get to help or if you take it out, you will bleed out. And he left him on the subway train.
So
watched it a million times.
Means he died.
No, Common stayed on the train. He didn't die.
Of course he did. It wouldn't mean he died.
No, he said he stabbed him just right. That if you take it out or do anything, if you
so
don't go get help in the next 30 minutes, you'll die. That's what he said. It was something like that.
So he died.
No, he didn't die. He was on the train. He took the train, got off the next stop, and went to Mercy.
You taking a lot of liberties with this movie, man.
I'll tell you this. I got into it with Yuri. Shout out to Yuri. People take real liberties when they watch movies. They just assume stuff.
Yeah, that's what you just did.
No, I get that I might be a little literal. Like, okay, like if you left the room and you were outside, I want to see in the movie you walk out and go outside. If you just appear outside, I'd be like, what the heck did you get outside for? I'd be like that sometimes, but if you talk about... Anyway, you got to watch the movie first. So I'm not going to talk about it.
I don't know what you're talking about, no.
Shout out to Shida. We're going to have somebody come on the podcast who just let everybody know. Hopefully a good conversation about bots, proxies, restocks, and all that stuff, man.
You talking about a bunch of stuff you don't even know what it is.
You absolutely right. I know nothing about it, but that's funny. That's you in his world. I don't know nothing about cookbots and all them. At one point, I'm talking about it because at one point I was angry at people still complaining about bots because I was like, bots don't exist anymore. I didn't think they still existed. I didn't believe anybody was using bots on sneakers and stuff. I didn't think that was real. But we about to get the lowdown.
All right,
lowdown. Any pickups this week? Anything?
Yeah, I bought those New Balance I was telling you about today.
Which ones?
Pink and light blue or whatever.
Wait a minute. Which ones are you talking about? There's like
1530s.
There's about 1530.
They're on the website I told you about.
What was that? Nordy?
Yeah,
Norder? Didn't that burn down?
All right. Hunchback of Notre.
Shoot, which ones are you talking about? I need a picture, bro.
Well, you know which ones.
Well, let me see your receipt.
Yes, you need a receipt.
Oh, you talking about these ones?
Yeah.
Oh no! Did you see the yellow ones? Oh my goodness! The New Balance has been dropping some fire stuff lately that people are overlooking. It's still expensive,
Those
but
joints are 190. You know, there's no way. I picked them up in Rooted. Not this has nothing bad to say about Rooted. This has something to say about New Balance. That shoe that I bought today has the white part of the other parts, the blue and pink part of the shoe is nice suede. The white part of the shoe was some of the cheapest leather I've ever seen in my entire life.
On a New Balance?
Yes. However, I was tempted to cop inside Rooted, and I said I can't cop regular price, but if it goes on sale, got that joint 30% off. So
how much was it?
130, I think.
That was fire, but I feel like we got something like that already.
Not I, sir.
Oh, I feel like it's something that we have already. I'm trying to find those one New Balances with the toe cap. The toe box is yellow. Oh my goodness, I want them joints. What else you grabbed? That was it.
Other than the one you posted already with the
fire.
Yeah, but I see somebody wearing it. I don't like you got to cover your hand with your other hand, fam.
What?
You got to go like that. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, that's better.
How you know that? Huh?
That's how cameras autofocus you, freakazoid.
Oh, word? Oh, I always thought I thought you were trying to block the light.
You see that?
Oh, I thought you were trying to block the light. Oh.
No, man, you got to get it to focus. It's trying to focus on your face. So when you put something in front of it, it's focusing on your face still.
You really went to film school.
Oh, weirdo. I'm a weird person. I think I don't know if I said it on the show, but I caught them joints with the pink fire flame on the tongue or whatever. Those Air Max 180s. Just a picture I sent.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Them joints are clean. How much you pay for those? Like 120?
You smoking, huh? 78.
Oh, yeah, I might have to look that up. I might have to look on the code or something. Them joints are clean. A lot of people was like, them joints are fire. I got nothing this week. I'm getting my laptop fixed. That's videos, so that's good enough. What comes out this week? Oh,
let's see here.
Your Grails, fam.
Yeah, I already put the thing in on Foot Locker. I better win on there, so I don't got to worry about
I thought they already did
sneakers.
that. I thought I seen people already doing their.
If I got to worry about
limits.
sneakers, I'm slapping everybody down. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this shoe up because I want you to talk about it. Ace Ventura times Mache, however the hell you pronounce
it.
Talk
about that.
Ewing, the Ewing Mosh or Mache, whatever his name is, they're coming out. What's your thoughts?
First of all, the shoe. This is why the shoe is whack. Okay, because it has what's his name, Mache.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Is it matcha? Mache?
Who knows?
I always
man.
said matcha.
Yeah,
Mache. We'll say Mache.
Matcha tea, dude. Matcha green
all
tea.
the work that he's done, why is Ace Ventura the one to throw on a Ewing? Like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. All right. Like that.
I mean, you asking the wrong
whack
person.
collaboration. If you're gonna get somebody who is, I've seen people complain about before. Nike needs to hit him up. Nike needs to call, and he's made some.
I mean, Ace Ventura ain't been relevant for about 25 years. 20
So
years.
100% fact. I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Jim Carrey's in that as the bad guy.
Dr. Shivago was
Dr. Robotnik. I thought it was Dr. Wiley, but Dr. Wiley was Mega Man.
No, Metroid. Mega
No,
Man?
Dr. Wiley was Mega Man. Metroid didn't have a bad guy. It was Alien. Though Samson was Metroid, the girls. Samson?
Well, maybe I get Mega Man and Metroid confused then. I don't know.
I could see it, but
Right.
one short and blue,
Maybe
another tall and yellow.
Maybe I meant Mega Man. I don't know. It's been a long time since we played those games.
Oh yeah, that makes it sure. It's a waste of match, whatever. It's a waste of his talent. No, I'm sorry. Like, it's a waste and it's ridiculous. Sorry. Like, it is what it is. We've seen him make some dope stuff over the years that none of us could get our hands on. I'm sure it's very expensive to get him to do for you. And for that to be the, like, custom for him is absolute nonsense. What else? What was something else? Oh, releases.
That's what I just
Red
was
4s,
doing.
fam.
Can I get there? I'm not even there yet.
Okay, we know
The
who's
most
coming
unnecessary shoe of all time. Zoom LeBron 3 Houston Oilers.
out. Unnecessary.
Don't do that.
I don't like them.
Don't do that.
I don't
Because
think they
every
suck.
time something like that comes out, you be like, that's so unnecessary. And now this is the one you want to stake your flag on, huh?
No, because
Stick your reputation on not being necessary on this.
unnecessary to me would mean
Brother, Houston Oilers has been gone for about 25 years, though. And LeBron has nothing to do with Houston or Oilers or nothing.
it was All-Star Weekend there. That's why that came out.
Doesn't matter.
It was All-Star Weekend, the Houston Oilers.
Why is it out right now? Why is it coming out right now?
Okay, no. This is why I'm saying it's not unnecessary, because it never came out before. That's why I'm saying it.
What's the point? No?
If it was a retro of that, I'm like, what do you need that for? We retro an All-Star Game sneakers now? Like,
Literally,
that's
the NBA
different.
season is over, and a LeBron shoe is coming out.
I mean, well, a LeBron
You
All-Star
doing a
shoe is
lot
coming out.
of in this topic.
What's wrong with a shoe coming out that never came out before?
What is necessary about a Houston Oiler LeBron 3?
That's not what it's about. It's a LeBron 3 when the All-Star Game was in Houston and he did Houston Oilers colors. That's it. It's
What?
not a Houston Oiler LeBron. It's an All-Star Game LeBron when it was in Houston. That's it.
What is necessary about that?
It doesn't suck, okay?
Yes, it does, and
No,
it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. Though. Only if certain few people could wear those, like Mr. Meadows.
Yes, LeBron.
And LeBron James. Shout out to
Even
Mr.
LeBron
Meadows.
doesn't need that shoe. Women's atmosphere gray Jordan 1 high.
The heck is that? Man, get that out of here.
No thoughts. I mean, it's clean.
I think that's it.
Y3 4D core white.
that cost?
This pack right here. I know you want those.
Oh, those are fire. What are they called?
Ultra Boost 1.0 SNL.
SNL. What's the SNL stand for?
Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live.
I was gonna say something else.
S
I had
and
nothing.
L.
Are you copping those?
I want to, but I don't want to pay retail for them.
What's the?
They're sitting on like European websites, so I assume they'll sit wherever
Did you
else.
try to get the other ones? The gray ones or the mid ones for
They're all
women,
sitting
right?
everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Why
turquoise are
hasn't
women's.
Hannah wore those naked Ultra Boosts? I seen this dude wearing them on
ask her.
Twitter. Them joints might be a top 10 Ultra Boost of all time.
Guess you better text her, fam.
Them joints are absolute fire. Why don't you wear them out of town or something? As much as you guys go out of town, that'd be the perfect shoe to wear.
She got a
girls
psychological
having
block.
DS sneakers is kind of funny.
All right.
I don't know why.
She got a psychological block on them or something.
She must don't really like them.
Nah, you smoke.
I think you actually. I don't think. No, she must don't like them. I think you actually put in quite a bit of work to get those.
No, she went and got it. I was going out of town and she went to
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like.
It was a last size and it was her size. That's why I was like, all right, it's your size, wear it.
Them joints are absolute fire. I didn't know they came in men's sizes. Huh?
Yeah, it was a men's release.
Them joints
well,
are
Adidas
crazy,
calls it unisex or whatever. But.
I do want those Ultra Boosts, though, the SLs, though, but I can't pay full price for them. And I want the Ultra Boost 2019s. I saw those in person, and luckily on GOAT, they're like only 127, 120. They're super cheap now. Them joints in person are fire.
All right, I'm gonna need you to chill out.
All right. And there's some new Chuck Taylors that are fire, too.
All right, we have to end the show
At
right
Nordstrom's. All right.
now. Chicago City Pride Blazer.
Oh, that joint's fire. The white with the black swoosh with the red behind it, them joints clean. Okay. Any white blazer that has just a bold swoosh on it is fire.
Zoom KD12 University Red.
No. Saw those in person. You see them in person? Not too bad.
I think they look all right.
I hate when you go to somewhere like House of Hoops and they try to tell you like, those are KD12, like them the new KDs.
You mean when they try to tell you they're coming out at Nike? Oh, don't worry, fam. They're coming out.
Yeah.
Wait, they're getting way more than us. Court Light 2s. Tennis, Nike tennis.
Oh, those don't suck, but I don't remember those.
Get your opinion, fam.
I don't remember those.
All right. Court Light 2. Air Flight
Are you
Posit.
gonna say Bred 4s?
Can I get there?
Man.
Air Flight Posit.
What color?
Black and red 4. What is this? Motorola RSX. You should cop this.
Let me see.
Actually, the RSX you should cop was on
Wait,
is
let me
on that
see.
one website.
Motorola isn't even in business anymore?
Yeah, they still. What kind of question is that?
I'm
They
gonna tell
make
you
like
this.
all the processors and chips for everybody.
Oh, I don't know.
It does say Hello Moto on the side, which is
I see some BMW ones.
yeah, those suck. Actually, one of them is all right, but I
gotta
don't need
admit-
it because I already have the one I have.
No, Puma RSX, you gotta admit, them joints faded away quick. They faded away quick. And you know why? Because the best colorways came out in women's. That's a 100% fact.
I don't know if they faded. The one you need to cop is this one right here. I'm not gonna
It's probably
buy it, but-
women's.
No, it's not. This is a collab one that came out.
Oh, it's probably on feature. I think I said it to Daniel. It's like a
Listen,
Ferragamo or something?
Listen. You're a hater. That's all that matters.
No,
this the one you
RS.
need to cop right here.
Oh, I saw those. Well, no, I do like. Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah,
what that
you
is,
need to cop those.
No, those suck.
You smoking?
Those look like those Kith ASIC gel like 3s or 5s that came out a long time ago.
Fam. What are you talking?
Are you gonna talk about Bred 4s?
I was trying to get to it. Man, what kind of question is that?
Are you gonna be able to cop it? I need another size 12.
If I'm not able to copy it, the world is gonna feel my wrath.
As anybody listen to this podcast, so I need another size 12. All right, I got somebody that I owe something to.
I was like, what do you need a size? That's my size. You get a size 12. You better give it to me. Pause.
I owe somebody a big.
You don't owe it to more than me.
What do I owe you for? Trust me, though.
Bruh.
What do I owe you for?
Everything.
You better say something big, and you gonna throw a bruh out that long.
Everything.
Yeah, all right.
You just mad because it's echoing in the headphones.
I owe somebody pretty big, so I need somebody. If you got an extra 12.
Ain't nobody.
I understand you got to get doubles in this, all right? But if you get triples, I need somebody to give me
I ain't getting
12,
doubles. I'm just getting one.
I'm talking about people who are listening. All right?
I'm not. I just
You're
need
not gonna
one.
get two. I guarantee you though, when you put it on, mine already beat. So
I'm not rich, fam.
mine are beat. All right. And I did, like, before I did the Avengers talk before the podcast, I did a little Bred 4 talk as well, because people are acting like you can't criticize a Bred 4 because it's a Bred 4. Sorry, that to me is the whole they suck but don't suck. You get them in hand, you be like, man, these suck, but they're still Bred 4s. I'm not taking them back, and I'm buying another pair, and I'm wearing them. I need a 9.5 and a 12.
They don't suck.
Right? They suck in hand.
They don't suck.
Get them. The shape is weird. They're not the right height, and the tongue might as well touch the bottom of your hat.
Yeah, all that stuff you talking about sucks, but that shoe could have 97 flaws and still not suck.
100,000,000% fact. No, they suck, but they don't suck. Right? That's a fact, and that's what I'm trying to say earlier when I recorded. Like, it don't matter. Like, I'm not taking it back. It ain't like Reacts, okay? Like Reacts 87s, they suck but don't suck. But they suck because they're basically glorified Ziploc bags. They don't suck because they're comfortable, the colorways are fire, and they fit perfectly with your jeans. That's why React 87s don't suck, but they suck. Yo, them joints you sent, them Presto Reacts?
Oh yeah, I'm copping those. If I can.
Why not? There's like a billion colors.
Oh, I thought it was only one for like special
no,
things
there's
or
like
something.
it's the new line, like Presto line. Like,
well, that makes
it's
it even worse
colors.
now.
No, they got like the honey. What?
Makes it worse
You
now.
don't want it now?
I thought it was like a special.
No, like there's like that one got the honey. There's like some orange and blue ones. Them joints are fire. All right, I'm definitely for 120. 120 is cheap. Ultra Boost need to come down in price. That's what they need to do. Ultra Boost, the 180s are 190, I think, at Nordstrom's. Ultra Boost need to be 145 at max. I did do a sign up for a raffle for a size 12. I had to do it too on SNS, even though probably sent me fakes. But so like I said, anybody
You assume
listening,
you're gonna win the raffle, so
anybody listening, if you got a third pair, because you got to double up on these, I need that size 12 from you, fam.
I'm not doubling up.
I'm not gonna be forever in your debt, but I promise to bring a podcast to you every week, like always. Let's talk about Jordan. Oh, we got a few things to talk about. We'll call him at 7 because we have the room until 8. You think that's good?
It's up to you.
All right. Okay, we'll talk real quick about
6:45.
Supreme 14s and Patta 7s because I want to talk about the Rockets because I hate their guts. All right. Patta 7s, you copping?
Man,
Do you think they
need
suck?
to pat them out the room. No,
They look like dope materials, but they look.
no, they don't.
Oh no, the materials on those look ridiculously good. That
No, they
brown,
don't.
but they look like they tried to create some type of version of Bordeaux's. Like let me show you a picture. This suede on this brown suede. Yo, what's up with Google and stuff and Facebook? Like, stuff is changing. Every time I get on something, it's like crazy updated. Them joints already on sneakers? Look at this. Look at that brown butter. That suede looks like you brush it with a 350 wave brush from Sally's. Put a do-rag on them.
So much.
Those are awful. And Patta has come out with some fire stuff before, and those are trash.
Yeah, all Air Max 1s.
And it's brown, pink, their colors.
I don't think so.
Well, because they had those them ones you like, them Vans, them old schools. Remember they had brown ones and they had black ones. Come on, we put those in the tournament bracket.
Patta Vans. Let me type this in, fam.
What are you talking about? You was like raving, except not
Man,
the
you
brown
think I remember
ones.
stuff like that, fam?
Vans and stuff like that, you remember. These Patta 7s are absolute garbage. Now, choosing a Jordan
These joints are already on not sneakers. What's this thing?
GOAT.
Yeah, like websites, and them joints is only like $450. Last sale
lot.
$1,100. What?
What are you talking
A
about?
lot. Patta Air.
Patta Jordan?
8.5 sold for $1,100, and an 11 sold for $420.
A Patta Jordan 7?
Yes.
Oh, they are on here. This joint is
Yeah, you
top
wild if
offer
you think that's
475.
high, no?
475 is high. And why these joints called shimmer? They don't even
it's not.
shimmer.
High for what?
$475 for a Jordan? What are you talking about? That's high. What do you think they're going to go for?
It's a Patta shoe.
What does that got to do with anything?
When was the last time they came out with anything that was Nike that didn't go soar into the thousands through the roof? What do you mean? What does that mean?
Bro, this Gel Like 3 Patta is $7,000.
Well, maybe-
It's $7,320.
Okay, well maybe you're
There's not
starting
even
to
a
learn
picture of it. It's just a shadow on GOAT.
Now you're starting to learn.
Look at this. Which one is that?
Okay.
Bro, look at that silhouette.
Now you're starting to learn.
Look at that GOAT silhouette.
So mean-eyed cat is what you're talking about. Vans, Patta, brown, mean-eyed cat. I have no idea if that's their colors or not.
Bruh, there is no other Pattas on here that's that high besides obviously these green joints. Chlorophylls are 2,000. Cherry woods are 5,000. Bruh, these denims, they only 840.
Keep going, fam.
These purple denims are 3,000.
Keep going, fam.
That's it. Oh shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Them joints 1,700. Lucky Greens. I never seen Lucky Greens before. Don't Simple got those? Ah, my shoulder hurts. Anyways, Patta Jordan 7, if $475 is cheap, then why don't you cop them then?
Because they're trash. I'm saying cheap for what the expectation.
If you think they might go higher than that, you should cop them.
Oh, they will.
They're not gonna go past $475.
Yes, they are.
A Jordan 7, I am glad that they picked something like a Jordan 7 because I'm sick of people doing Jordan 1s and being safe with
How
stuff
long
like
are we?
that.
Are you saying like never in history or like in 6 months or how long? What's your time frame?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about Patta
Well, then why are you guessing on what the price is going to be?
because these suck. These other ones that we're looking at don't suck.
You're a weirdo. No?
All right. You think these ones I just said sucked? You think Cherry Woods are one of the greatest things of all time.
Yeah, you absolutely right because they are.
You also said purple denims are.
Purple denim might be the greatest Air Max 1 of all time.
All right, relax.
You act like it's not.
Relax.
You act like it's not.
First of all, ain't nobody should be wearing purple denim. But if it's on a sneaker, all right, man. First of all, these green ones are better. Chlorophylls are better than purple denims. Are they cut different?
These
Bruh,
might be better.
I seen those. That's what
These might be
those are
better
too.
than the one I bought.
Those are tight.
But these are not. Those ain't better than the one I bought.
I didn't say they were better. I said they fire.
I haven't seen this one yet, so I might have to trade.
I saw it at this Miami Boutique.
Might have to
Miami
do a
Boutique.
trade.
Anybody willing to do a trade? Do people still trade sneakers?
I have no idea. We don't go to sneaker shows.
You know what I need is a new D and Ricky collaboration.
You need a lot of stuff.
Supreme 14. You copy?
D and Ricky. These are 210.
Bruh. Are you
These
copying
are
Supreme
210,
14?
white
fam?
peach.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that's what I said. They're too high. Like
No.
New Balance has
No,
been
I said that.
New Balance has been dropping absolute fire. There's a brand new boutique in Miami. I don't know where they're getting
I'm
stuff.
happy I copped those for $130 because it's reasonable.
You'll never wear them though.
Yeah, right.
You wear them one time to lunch and that's it. You wear them one time to lunch.
Wear them
and
on Friday,
Right.
fam. Just because you said that.
Spill some hot sauce. Shout out to Anna K. Anna K is coming to AZ, fam.
Yeah, she told me.
Yeah.
I told her to stop by. She was like, I can't be on the show. I can't be on camera. I said, we could just put one of them like blurry faces.
She said she can't be on camera. She just don't want to talk. She said she's coming to sneak this lunch. It's an event. We have a sneak this
Yeah, I
lunch.
said, what are you coming for? Oh, just get away. I said, you coming in the middle of the summer. You could go to San Diego. Oh, no, that's not far enough away. Far enough away from what?
She's trying to get away from her.
My
I'm not gonna
family,
say it.
yeah.
Oh, you said I didn't say that. You snitched.
Yes.
Supreme 14s, are you copping? Bro,
Man.
I hate Supreme. Bro.
I just seen one of the funniest tweets I've
seen.
seen today, and today's been a crazy day on Twitter from Russ Bankston. He said, I thought those were perforations, and I was about to say, oh, that's not too bad. And then he was like, ... Never mind, I need to go lay down.
Even if they were perforations, they'd be bad.
Gold dots or something, gold metal buttons or whatever. I don't know.
Them joints suck. You know? This is what makes it even more stupid. Supreme's primary colors are pretty much Chicago Bulls colors: red, white, black, and that's what you come up with. Like that's further proof that they're not even trying. There is absolutely nobody who said this is dope and this is fire, and they're gonna sell out just like that. Them joints suck, but I do appreciate them picking a different Jordan model. All right, because the only Jordan they've ever had was a Jordan 5. That's it. Period. Jordan collaborations, actually Jordan collaborations as of late have been pretty fire. Union 1s are fire. I mean, Don C2s are fire. You know.
How far are you going back with recent?
I mean, a lot of the companies' Jordan 1 collaborations don't suck. Like, I can't think of any. Supreme 5s were fire. Those were dope. What else is there?
You said recent, and you going back like 4
Union
or 5
ones?
years.
Look, I can't think of any Jordan collaborations. What are Jordan collaborations lately?
You made the point, not me. I have no idea.
You're supposed to chime in.
Nah, B.
Collaborations. I gotta look this up.
You just type in collaborations.
I am. I'm just typing Jordan collaborations. That's it.
You're a weirdo, though.
Off-white ones. I mean, they cheap, but you know, visually they don't suck.
Off-white Jordans all suck.
Cause 4s are fire.
Yep.
Both colorways.
Off-white Jordans suck. Off-white other things that are non-Jordan are the ones that are good.
Pretty much all PSNY Jordans suck. The 12s were okay, but they kind of ran their course. Nigel 1s are fire if you consider that a collaboration. Other than that, that's about it. I don't consider Travis Scott signed the Jordan brand, so I guess it's a collaboration. But Levi 4s were fire.
That's a stretch.
Levi 4s were fire.
Nope.
The Vogue Anna Winter 3s, those are pretty fire.
Well, all right.
But I mean, I don't know why nobody cared about them. One of the worst things of all time. You got Harry 6s. You still got those?
Did you say Harry 6s?
Harry Social Studies? Soul Society 6s?
That's one of the worst collabs of all time.
It's one of the worst sneakers of all time.
Sure.
That's about it. Jordan collaborations typically haven't been that whack, but Jordan 14s, whack. Those suck. All right. No, not Jordan 14s. Jordan 14s times Supreme suck. And Supremes should be ashamed of themselves. And everybody who wants to cop that should be ashamed of themselves. I know Simple's going to want them, even though he typed all that stuff in the thread that they suck. He's going to want them. He gonna hit you up like, yo, can you help a brother out? Then he gonna hit me up and say, can I help him out? Them joints are whack. And that pack that you sent, that Tailwind Undefeated Frisbee towel bag pack, what the F was that? That was stupid.
I have no idea. I don't know why they made all that stuff.
Rockets, fam. Can we talk about Rockets? What time is it?
Let's go.
About 15 minutes. No, talk about the Rockets.
Well, then you're gonna have the next. Okay.
What do you want to do? Want to call them?
I mean, we do whatever. I don't care.
No. What do you think?
You act like you can't talk about it when he's on the show.
Fine. I don't know if he watches basketball. We've been coming across a lot of people that don't watch sports lately. I'm about to hit him up, see if he's ready. But I absolutely hate the Rockets, too. And I blame D'Antoni for everything. D'Antoni is awful. The Rockets are just the Phoenix Suns. The Warriors are going to be the Rockets Spurs for a few years, just like the Spurs were to the Phoenix Suns. D'Antoni is an awful coach, all right? And Chris Paul, I can't deny he's probably one of the best point guards of our generation, but Chris Paul plays like everybody has mistreated him. Like, it's like he's angry that he started out with New Orleans, and he's angry it didn't work out with the Clippers, and now he's on the Rockets, and he's always hurt, and it's like he's just like this chip on his shoulder. Like, he's always got a chip or a gripe on his shoulder. Like, bro.
Chris Paul's the number one thought in the NBA, you know?
He is a clown. He looks like that kid that always lose in the neighborhood, and they'd be like, well, I got to go home real quick, and never came back outside because they was heated. I can't stand Chris Paul. And James Harden last night, look, I know he got hit in the eye, and yes, it was real and all that, but he really played that up. Bruh, at one point,
he was walking off the floor at the end of the game going like this.
Bruh.
Like, see.
It was at one point, hold on. At one point, he about to shoot a free throw, and the hoop was right here, and he was like this, and they was like, oh, the hoop over here. I was like, fam, he is a goo. I was like, you know what? He is low key happy he got hit in the eye because he can use that as an excuse to. They're one of the most excused teams I have ever seen in my entire life, and Assemble was just so angry, bruh. You want to know how you combat something? Okay, before we call. When you're playing a sport, and if you're already mad at the referees in the first quarter, you've been mad at them about 2 or 3 times about the same type of play. If you've shot 3 shots and thought you got fouled and the ref isn't calling them, don't expect it the rest of the game. That's when your coach says, bruh, you gave it a shot. They're obviously not calling this today. Get over it. And like you hate referees. Dude. You think referees make a gigantic difference whether it's a win or lose? I don't. I think referees make bad decisions, but I love the player that says, you know what, if I would have made them 5 free throws and made that wide open 3 and then missed that layup, we would have won. Those are the players I like. You've been going crazy on the NBA referees for about 2 days.
All referees suck in every sport.
I mean, you just hate referee. You just hate authority.
Oh no, that doesn't matter to me. But just officiating, officials in general are trash.
It's not possible to be a good officiator. It's just not.
No, it is when so what happened in the NFL, like Rams Saints, that last whatever. The pass interference? No. Let me I haven't even said nothing yet. So that is different from what's happening in the NBA because that was just a missed call. We don't know if the ref was like did that on purpose or was like screened out from the play or whatever. What's happening in the NBA is a game-wide issue where they've allowed the players essentially to create a new rule book for themselves. The whole like gather and take a whole nother step after you gather, which makes 4 steps. No, that's not a rule. You can't just retroactively, if you're going to create something new to where literally James Harden and these certain players have an advantage over everyone else in the world, then you need to change it in the rule book and say, okay, you can now take 4 steps. Because whatever they came up with this gather thing, that has not historically been a rule in basketball, whether it be NBA or FIBA or whatever, and FIBA being the International Basketball Association and generally accepted rules. That has never been a rule. So why they allow Harden and other people to get away with taking 4 steps, or if you want to call it 3.75 or whatever, anything more than 3 is a travel. The other one is, with the fouling, James Harden goes to the line more than anyone else in the league. Fact. By far.
By about 300 plus free throws.
And so the fouls that they're calling are not fouls that are in the rule book. Everyone keeps going back to this. You have to give the player room to land. The spirit of that rule was not written to allow the player to jump 4 feet forwards when he's shooting a jump shot. The straight up and down is how 99% of the people shoot jump shots. Now, if you're running fast and shoot one in transition, that's fine. But that's different because likely there's no defender in your face coming to block the shot when that happens. So the issue with the NFL and NHL and MLB or whatever, they're all different issues. MLB, we need robot umpires, period. The umpires behind the plate, you still need the umpires to call outs on the bases and to call home plate outs, but calling balls and strikes should be a computer, period. It's that bad. Different issue than the NBA, where the NBA officials have essentially let the players create their own set of rules. And that's exactly why KD came out yesterday before the game and backed Harden and basically said, oh, he's a creative player, da-da-da-da-da. The reason KD said that is because he doesn't want things to change because he takes advantage of that shit too. He's the same kind of player. They all want to be able to take advantage of And this is not me saying the game was different when obviously MJ got preferential treatment. All the players got preferential treatment. But the rule book was clear. A travel's a travel and a foul's a foul. What Harden has been able to create for himself is different than all the other sports. The refs in the NFL are just bad.
Yeah, but majority of the players in the NBA, they all do the same stuff. He gets away with it more.
No. They might do the same stuff once or twice. Like they said that Harden was fouled on I read this yesterday. Harden was fouled on 95 three-pointers during the season. The next closest for the entire NBA was like 40.
It was like, yeah, I think it was like Giannis.
That's less than half. So obviously everyone is not getting away with it.
I look at referees in the NBA playoffs, and I feel like they do this anyways, but I feel like they're particularly doing it more for this. They get together and they say, watch for the additional stuff Harden's doing, watch for the additional stuff Chris Paul is doing.
Yeah,
and they're
in
not
the playoffs, Harden stuff that doesn't work. Exactly.
I know. That's why I'm mad, like, of how they're acting with it not being called. Like, look, I get it when you're used to it being called all season long and now it's not working for you. I completely understand it. But like I said, to me, at some point...
Yeah, but that's the reason why it should be shored up.
I guess.
To begin with.
Look, either way, I hope they get swept. They're both Chris Paul... People will say Chris Paul is dirty. I think Chris Paul is a dirty player, though.
I don't think. See, my thing is not that I dislike the Houston
NFL,
Rockets.
You can't compare NFL ref and calls to NBA stuff, though, because
that's exactly what I said.
I thought you were.
Were you
saying,
not paying attention?
Yeah, but I thought you were saying like
there's different reasons in different sports that refs are bad.
I think the refs are worse in the NFL than NBA. I think so because
they might be, but it's for a different reason. They're not allowing the players to create a different set of rules for themselves, which is what NBA refs have allowed. It's also to blame on the league office. The NFL refs might just be bad because they're bad or because they're being directed by a league office to like look for holding or look for PI or whatever. Whereas in NBA, like stuff with James Harden, that didn't happen for Allen Iverson. Certain players got some players got preferential treatment, but they didn't get the rule book changing. Like MJ got more fouls going to the basket than other guys, and obviously had less reach-in fouls and whatever else called on him. But that's not changing the rule league-wide. That's like, okay, you're the superstar. You're not going to get that touch foul, and you're going to get these free throws.
I mean, I agree with that because I did feel when Shaq came into the league, they needed to alter.
They called fouls on him just for being the biggest guy.
Just for being the biggest guy.
Yeah, which is terrible.
I felt like that was a time where I was like, all right, you're going to have to figure something out.
And what my point is in hockey, MLB, and NFL, you can have bad officiating for other reasons. Those other sports aren't letting the players dictate what the rule is.
You're right.
Like before the Harden step back thing, we didn't have controversy about traveling. Like, yes, the thing about, you guys always let every NBA player travel has always existed. But a lot of those weren't actually travels. It just was like may have looked awkward because like, that's a good player. His 2 steps are longer than my 2 steps. Now, literally, James Harden has clips in the NBA where he takes a dribble,
LeBron too,
and steps back twice. Hop step. Like, what are we watching here? This is not a natural basketball move.
I will say, like I said, I don't think basketball referees alter a game enough to determine win or loss during certain periods of the game. NFL referees, they can dictate win or lose. Baseball, win or lose. Like those are every call in baseball and football to me is way more important no matter what inning you're in, what quarter you're in. Now I will say you are right. It is a difference in rule changing. Like things that they can do now are altered, but like you said, the first time you see a lot of stuff, like Willis, I have no idea why he just doesn't know. He texting in the thread like, fam, do you see this step thing that Harden's doing? Like, where have you been at? Like, stuff does look different. I mean, Gary Payne used to drive to the hole. Gary Payne would cover the entire ball with his arm so it couldn't get stripped. And it looked crazy because it looked like he was running with the ball, but it was clearly 2 steps. So they had to pay attention to stuff like that. Harden, yeah, having a lot of clips out there of you jumping back twice or jumping to the side twice or whatever it is crazy. I just don't like when I know Harden's fully aware that some of the stuff he does is illegal, but when it's not working into his benefit, they're using it to like the reason why they lost. Like, you not making
complaining.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The fact that they took all those, I guess the league releases something at the end of every game about what call is right and what call is wrong or something like that. And the Rockets, I would have to look into it way further than I have. The Rockets taking that from like a year's span and arguing that over that time, Golden State has gotten 95 more calls than they have or whatever that thing was is absolutely absurd to me. The level of absurdity for you to use something that's a judgment call, because I can guarantee you I shouldn't say guarantee. In my opinion, I can't imagine the NBA has someone watching the entire game and when there's like a little touch foul or whatever, going like, oh, checking a box, yes or no, if it's a right call. They're probably just going and looking, remembering from where the controversy was and looking for that stuff. I could be wrong. If they are paying someone to look through every single second of every game and make a call, good for them.
I wouldn't be shocked.
What the Rockets are doing in terms of like, and I've given their general manager a lot of credit because he's one of the first guys who started the advanced statistics thing.
100% facts.
But they're using it in like such a devious manner that, and again, I don't have anything against the Rockets. I like the general manager. I've liked some of the players who've been with the franchise. I don't necessarily have anything against Harden.
Oh, I like all of them.
I went to Arizona, so obviously just like an ASU thing, I disliked him when he was at ASU. My thing is, it's not against Harden. It's what the officials have allowed him to translate the game into. And some of their other players are, I hate Eric Gordon, and I don't even know why. He has no business being in the NBA.
I don't know why you hate him so much.
He looks like a bowling ball, and he has
always hated Eric Gordon.
You're right, because someone who's 6'2" should not be finishing at the rim over 7-footers to the level he does. I think he shoots the highest percentage at the rim of all guards in the NBA.
I think he did last year.
Upsets me
the year before
to no end.
I hate that he used to be so hurt.
I don't have nothing against Harden other than he's ASU, and then I went to Arizona. And then Chris Paul, I thought I liked him. I thought he would. I never noticed this before. I thought he didn't knew that with this Clippers.
We like Chris Paul basketball. We don't like him. All right. He thinks
I never
everybody is against him. It doesn't matter what it is. He thinks every single person is against him.
Never noticed it before, but he is the thought of the series. Period. The most antics I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, shoot.
On everything. Fouling, grabbing the ball, slapping late, everything.
Whenever somebody else gets fouled, how he's like reacting to the refs, clap.
Oh, yeah. He was doing the clap thing last night when they made a call.
So annoying. All right. So
what up?
How's it going, guys?
All right. I don't want to. Are you going to give us your real name? Or is it not?
Call me Mr. Jig.
Mr. Jig, or is it Sockjig, or, is that fine?
Yeah, I don't want to use my real name if that's all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll figure it out at some point. We'll out you. Get some research going.
So
I'll message you my IG, and then you can follow me from there.
So we got the homie Sockjig on. He's definitely somebody we've talked to for a long time. When we've had the podcast. I don't know how long you've listened or whatever, but we definitely appreciate you coming on, having a chit chat with us about a lot of stuff that we don't know much about.
No, thanks for having me. No, I'm a big fan. You guys are the best.
Oh man, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just real quick before we get into obviously the world of cooking and proxies and all that stuff. And you had posted this, and I haven't asked anybody this question in a while. All right. I forgot the question, George.
What?
Your favorite sneaker be your greatest?
Oh, yeah.
Get the wording right.
What's the question? What's the wording, George?
Well, I always have to save you with this question because you can never remember. But can your favorite sneaker aesthetically or for whatever reason be something you never owned?
Never owned.
No, it cannot.
Thank you.
So he's about 25%, and he thinks he's winning.
Yeah, no undefeated 4s cannot be your greatest sneaker of all time. No, absolutely not.
I disagree.
Well, it can be your greatest sneaker of all time, but you can't be your favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you can't. You have to have a reason something is your favorite. Like whether you've owned it, nostalgia, materials, or you played in it, you hooped it, something.
Yeah, it looks the best.
Anyways,
no, like Jordan Brown had like a green 6 or 7 or something like that, and it or 9, I don't know what it was, but it came and went. right? So it was basically the same color as Undefeated, and it was green and orangish, and I can barely remember what model it was. So it's one of those things where people like the ones that they can't have. And, that one was pretty decent, but I don't think it can be your favorite.
No.
I'm on the show with 2 haters today. That's all right.
You invented hating, though.
Yeah, you right about that.
Yeah, somebody who proclaimed hater is
proclaim. That's a
crazy.
good word. I was gonna say acknowledge, but proclaimed is actually better.
There's a lot of people who do a lot to try to prove that they're not a hater. You're the only person that
admitted
loves it.
Check my Twitter feed from today. Yeah,
I don't know where you want to begin, but me and Jordan.
Here, let me begin with this. I want to thank you guys for making the only sneaker podcast worth listening to. I've listened to a bunch of them. Others are basically toothless. They will take whatever people are giving them, will promo whatever, have no opinions. There's this is the only one that hits it, shoots straight.
Since Greg doesn't have the soundboard connected, I'll just make the noise.
I appreciate that.
And I know you guys go into a studio, you pay for this. Doing this weekly is not easy. You guys are bringing it for everyone for free, and I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We appreciate you just giving time out of your day. So, let's get into this real quick. So, just right off the bat, something like Travis Scott's yesterday. Okay? What's the process of knowing, or anything that you could say or want to say about something like that, knowing prior to those releasing or shock drops or restocks, or how does that stuff work?
Sure. Okay, there's a lot to unpack with the Travis Scott drop yesterday. I can say that basically, let me start off with Slack and monitors and Discords and things like that.
Okay.
So there are groups where people talk in these groups, and some of them have heads up from sources. And so the chatter started basically that morning that there would possibly be a drop today, right? And so people were starting up, the people who use bots were theorizing, and if you saw my Twitter, I was tweeting that people were like, what time could it be? And you saw as the day went on, there was more and more chatter about it. And so basically that info was right. So there's always this underground of people in Slacks and Discords and certain groups where they talk about this kind of stuff. And some of them have sources. Some of them are just, copying someone else who said it in another group. That part I don't know. I'm not plugged up like that. But you could tell when there's chatter.
Right.
And then people who have bots are then gearing up for that kind of stuff. They're like, all right, I got to get my servers up. I got to get my proxies up. Things like that.
Okay.
Wait, okay, let me ask one question before you jump into it any further. So
Sure.
Slack and Discord were not originally designed for sneaker groups, I would assume, right? That was something else that was designed just for techs to talk with each other and engineers to talk with each other, I assume?
Yeah, and I could tell by listening to the podcast that you guys don't use it at work, but my work we use it, and there's a lot of people where that's where it's there's work groups, right? There could be a channel for where to go to lunch, or it's just basically a chat room, right? There's a room and there's topics set. So you can join the general one. You can join, in sneakers, there could be one for Nike and things like that, right? Usually chat ones. So that's all it is. And Slack has something called hooks, where the monitor, someone can set up a Slack and set up write a bot or write a thing that monitors Nike, let's say, or monitors Shopify, livestock or concepts or something. So anytime those sites update new stock, it will update in the Shopify channel or the Nike channel. So that's basically how these Slack Discords work.
So are you saying they don't even have to monitor for a keyword? They can just monitor any change in stock?
Yeah, and so most of them have a monitor, a keyword list. So, someone could add a dog walker, for example, right? Because that was the SP that dropped the other day. Right. That wouldn't be something you'd be monitoring before that drop. The same. So usually the admin of the group will have a list of keywords of what they deem to be monitor worthy, and usually sometimes like Jordan Retro is always in there. And most of them have like an unfiltered channel where you can see everything, and if you can just stare at this thing and you see every store, what they're in real time, what they're updating, what they're downloading. I mean, what is selling, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm in a monitor. It's called Geej. Shout out Geej. He monitors. He has a Shopify channel, and he has keywords set up. So anytime something with Jordan Retro comes up, it'll pop up, and you will see which size is in stock.
You're saying in the group you can see that?
Yeah, I can see that. And then some of them let you see the stock numbers, like, oh, there's 1,000 of these in stock, or there's 5, right?
Gotcha.
I can click the button for the size, and it'll add that size to my cart. Or if I'm a person who uses bots, I can click the button and it'll send that straight to my bot, and the bot will check it out. So this is what I mean, where Slacks and Discords, these monitors have an advantage where as soon as, say, Undefeated drops a bunch of fog air raids or something, everyone in the Discord or the Slack is on it right away. You know, most of them are people who use bots. They can click a button and it'll send it to its bot to check out.
So in this, Okay, so in this particular, so a Slack or Discord or whatever, is that something that you can use on like Sneakers app, or just Nike?
So there's a couple different ones. Like Shopify is all the same. You can monitor, if you can monitor one Shopify site, you can monitor them all. They all have like the same pattern, like an API that is usually that's an XML file or something that's red. The Nike one is completely different. There's usually like a different. The admin has written a different monitor for Nike, but the same kind of thing applies. Like if there's a shock drop, the Nike channel will start beeping, and you can with Slack you can set up notifications just like on like Twitter, so it'll like tweet you anytime the Nike channel buzzes. So that's how I cop like the Bred 4 shock drops and things like that, because it tells you right away. And then a lot of these groups, they compete with each other to see who's the fastest, who got it better. And because that makes a difference, especially I got the Travis ones when they first dropped in the shock drop. I got it because Geej's monitor picked it up right away. I just clicked it when I clicked buy now, and it said got him, right? And so because I was like, say 10 seconds faster than the next person, that was the difference between copying and not copying.
Okay, so then you're saying that when you cop, you just cop because you get the notification faster than everybody else. It doesn't check it out for you or put it on. No. Okay.
And that's one thing about me. I don't use bots. I'm manual. I'm like usually on my work computer all day. I can't install bots.
Right.
So anything I talk about, I haven't like sent it to my bot and checked out or anything like that.
So
follow Botterboy Nova on YouTube if you want to know how these guys use these bots.
I'm about to write that down. So
I watched a couple of the videos already.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much of it? Okay, now I will say this: like I don't know how large these groups are or how, whatever this might be. Like honestly, it sounds like some straight underground type stuff. How much of a disadvantage are just regular people trying to cop versus people with that type of wherewithal or know-how or whatever?
I can. One of the things is there's been some changes recently. I don't know, especially with the Travis Scott drop yesterday. But I'll start off with before these recent changes. Before the monitors were a huge advantage because if a store drops and they have like 50 pairs, those pairs are going to be gone before they hit Twitter, right? Before Soul Links or someone like that tweets it, or even J23, right?
Right.
But if something like something that has 1,000 stock, like something like say these fog air raids had like 200 or 300 or something. That can hit Twitter and you could still have a chance. But you're really at a huge disadvantage not being in a monitor. But the problem with these monitors are most of them are geared towards resellers. They charge like monthly for them. The one I'm in is $75 US a month. So most average people can't really afford that unless they are,
Right.
reselling. I got in a long time ago, so I just paid like a nominal lifetime fee. So otherwise, I wouldn't be paying $75 a month. That's for sure. Because I don't resell that much to pay for $75 a month, right?
Right. So then, there was a period of time where, I mean, obviously there was a large period of time where bots were like new and stuff like that, and you just knew when you were losing the bots. At one point, I thought people still complain. This is like as of last year, I think, or the year before. I thought people complaining about bots and proxies or whatever, I thought they were just sore losers. Like, I just didn't think that this stuff still existed or caused that big of an issue for everybody who was trying to cop. I thought the amount of people trying to manually cop sneakers is so high now that it's just a crapshoot.
Yeah, and it's, if you have there's lots of these monitor groups, and if everyone, and not everyone in the group has a bot, so some people like me just click it. So there's not much difference between 1,000 people in a group clicking a link and trying to check out at the same time as like a whole bunch of bots. It's, it's the amount of traffic that goes to the site is probably going to be very similar. But yeah, bots, like something on like Kith before was impossible to get manual.
Right.
Like it was just, you would load the site and be out of stock. You couldn't even add it to cart sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Or you'd hit the queue and the queue would go, and then it would just say stock problems. And so some of these bots are super fast. So they'll check out in like 5 seconds, right? 2 seconds. So you can't even do autofill that quickly.
So then, I don't know if you would know this, but I'm sure a lot of the people that associate with this or that they do a lot of reselling, right? Or do they just keep or something?
No, most people are in it for reselling.
How much do you think
I'm an old head. I just basically, I flip things here and there, of course.
Right.
I'm more like George. I flip a pair to pay for my other pair.
Right.
Keep it kind of even, Steven.
Dad shoe king.
That's right.
How much would you say some of these people that have these monitors and bots or whatever are probably making a month reselling and stuff?
Oh man, like if say there's 400 people in a group and you're getting $75 a month from them, and then they have to pay, even if you're a monitor, like you're an admin of you created a monitor, you have to pay for proxies. And proxies are basically like if you try to download information from like a site and you just hit refresh over and over again, eventually it'll just say, hey, you're banned. Proxy is basically just like a multi-slice toaster kind of thing. So it makes it like you have 5 different IPs doing that, or 500 IPs, right? Okay. So you can't. So one can't get, if one gets banned, it X's out, and then you go to the next one. So that's what proxies are. Otherwise, if you're just on your home computer trying to use a bot or something, the site will just ban you and you'll be done.
And this is all the same for like a site like Supreme in that as well?
Yeah, Supreme's a little different. Supreme is probably one of the places that have solved bots to the most part, but it changes week to week. If you see the word Pookie ever on Twitter, that is the name of Supreme's bot detection script. And you'll see some weeks, there's a bot in the Apple App Store called SupBot that was like cooking every week, if that's what you call it. And in the last couple of weeks, it hasn't got anything.
So there was something in the App Store that was free or basically free that was...
No, it was like $20 or something. And
okay.
People got that John Paul Gaultier t-shirt and everything with it.
Okay, but as opposed to someone paying like $400 or $500 or whatever some of the prices for the bots are, that and you actually have to have a bot to buy a bot or whatever. It's so competitive. Okay.
Yeah, let me talk about bots for a sec here. They're not easy to run. I've tried and I've failed every single time, and I'm I usually know what I'm doing here. So, first of all, to buy a bot is most of them have adopted the same model of low stock, low inventory, surprise drops. There's a bot called Cyber that resell bots. There's bots are hard to use. I don't recommend them to anyone I usually talk to. You have to know what you're doing to run them. One, they're hard to get. Like some bots resell. There's a bot called Cyber that goes for like $3,000 resell right now. There's another bot called Phantom that works on Foot Locker. And there's some Shopify based ones only. They're like Dash and Whatbot and Kodai. And some of them are, some of them are good, I guess. The developers are done a good job with them. But they're not easy. Like you're competing with other people who have set up a bot on some server somewhere because that server's got a faster internet connection than your home computer, or just can process more tasks. And they have proxies that are fast. I was talking about proxies as like a multi-slice toaster.
Yeah.
Each slice has to be fast. When you ping a site, it pings back really quickly. If you can have a really slow one, in Siberia somewhere, it's going to make your toast. It's going to take way longer to make your toast, right? So, and the other thing with bots is you need to have multiple credit cards, multiple addresses.
Right.
You guys in the U.S. have something called privacy. That's what everyone uses, basically. They connect their bank account to privacy, and then that lets you create multiple credit cards and addresses.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, well, that's what like the
clearinghouse behind the credit card company or something, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like the basis of it is you can create a one-off credit card for a site, and if your card gets stolen or skimmed, you can just cut it off, and you knew it came from that one site. That's kind of how they sell privacy, but really it's useful for people who run bots, because then you can just have one bank account and 20 credit card numbers, right?
Okay.
And so it's not trivial. You have to run keywords on a site. You have to put in like dog walker, SB. You have to have a proxy that's fast. You have to do all this setup, hit run, and then have it check out. And most of them have support with Google, where you do these, because in Shopify, when you try to check out, it wants you to do the one-click kind of CAPTCHA thing.
Right.
So most of the bots have that built in, where you have to solve these CAPTCHAs. So a lot of them will have, you need to have Google accounts set up. So if you watch the Botter Boy Nova guy, you see him, he fails most of the time, right? And he has especially in the later ones, because it's not easy to do.
Right.
So that's a fallacy, where people think you get a bot, then you can run it, and you'll start cooking.
Has it gotten more difficult over time? I mean, when that stuff first started happening, was it easier, or what's your?
I think when the bot died, it's called Dashi, but I always just call it Dash. When that one came out, it was easy for that one. It was buying everything. And then more and more of them came on the market, and it's been harder. And that's one of the things that's changed. I referenced it earlier, is Shopify is now actively working on anti-bot detection. So they're detecting bots and kind of giving them the endless queue. Yesterday on the Travis Scott drop, I don't think any bots really copped at all. If they did, they probably got the restocks. So Shopify is definitely up to something. If you look at Soul Links and you look at the replies to his tweet, it's just the bunch of randos that follow him that copped them yesterday. So if you were in there fast enough, you had a really decent chance of getting them yesterday.
I saw a lot of people, random people that I just on Instagram and Twitter got them, and they all think J23 app, whatever, they all like, man, it's the fastest to know it, whatever it is. So I was like, well, how many pairs? Do you know how many was actually stocked?
You can get an idea by, like, you say, like, if you're in these groups, you say, hey, what is your, when did you check out, and what did your order number start with, right? So your number could start with 16, 00 or something, right. And then the next person, the person says, oh, I copped on a restock, and mine is 2,000 and like something. So then you get a general idea. There's clothing in there too, but there's probably like 3,000, 4,000 pairs then, let's say.
Well, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, probably.
Dang, and we still couldn't get a pair? I consider once it gets to like the 2000s, I feel like I got a real good shot.
You had it. Yesterday was probably most people's best shot other than, the sneakers coming up.
Do you anticipate sneakers being quite a bit?
Oh, the stock levels?
Yeah.
My guess is probably going to be like how Cactus Jack 4s were. Like there were a lot of those out there, and it was, you could get them if you put in the work, but it was still hard enough to get, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And 6 months later, the price of them has gone up.
So, would you say like, do you feel like all the stuff that's used, in these cut groups or whatever, they can be combated, but companies really aren't taking the time to do so, or what?
Yeah, Nike has done a good job at it as well, and it seems that sometimes they turn it on and sometimes they turn it off. For Nike, there's a bot called Ghost, and what it does is it lets you enter your sneakers accounts. When there's a Jordan drop, there's a couple different types of sneaker drops on sneakers. One is called a Dan, which is the draw. That's like the 20-minute or 30-minute draw. Another one is called Leo. That's basically like a 1 or 2 minute mini draw. It's not first come, first serve. And that's what the most drops on sneakers are. Like if you've ever seen like a Jordan 1, you can be on two phones and one entered right away and you didn't get him, but another one entered 2 minutes later because you were fumbling, and that one did. It's because what it does is it basically takes all the entries that entered in those 1 or 2 minutes, and it just kind of randomly selects winners from those entries.
I've always figured that's what took place, because there'd be times when like back me and George would be in the same car and we're like, or in the same building at work, and we're like fumbling, and like one of us would have like done it instantly and one of us gets it like way later. Like I remember like it'd be like a big deal, like, man,
yeah, but that was Twitter RSVP. That wasn't sneakers.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it'd been sneakers. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I've never won on sneakers when I haven't done it instantly.
Yeah, so I think there's no proof of this or anything, but what it does is the fewer people, like if there's 1,000 people that are entered, it'll select winners from that 1,000. But then in a minute or so later, might be 10,000 people in there. Then it'll select winners from that 10,000. So you could still enter in 2 minutes where there might be 100,000 people who've now entered. So, and you might still hit with the lottery, but your chances of hitting that lottery are still better the earlier you're in. That's my theory, but no one really knows how it does.
Okay, so the one.
Well, wait, hold on. So where did the Dan and the Leo come from? Did that come from the community, or did that come from someone at Nike knew someone and told them, or?
No, that's if you read the API that people use.
Okay.
Nike,
So they pulled Nike's
says
API.
Type,
okay, gotcha.
Type equals Dan, type equals Leo.
Gotcha.
And the bot I was talking about, Ghost, what it does is it automates that. It lets you enter in 100 accounts, because you can't switch browsers and enter 100 accounts in 1 to 2 minutes.
Right.
So that one, people would create Nike accounts, enter them all, and then the thing says you entered 100 and 20 of them won, right? Yeah. So Nike's done a good job recently where they detected that, like I think on the dog walker drop. Very few bots.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't interrupt. So you're saying on the draw ones, it will enter like 100?
No, any of them.
Oh,
No,
any.
on the Leo ones too. On these
Oh,
on regular.
okay.
On a draw, you can enter in 20, 30 accounts if you want to. It'll just take time to do. But so for a while, that bot was like cleaning out sneakers. People were buying up these using Chinese phone numbers to create sneakers accounts, and they were buying them for like $1 each. These accounts, entering them in their bot, and then they would have like 100 entries, and end up winning say 10% or 5% or whatever it is, a good number of say off-whites or whatever, right? So that was when it was hard for sneakers for an average person, because you're competing with someone who had thousands of entries, let's say. And so then Nike recently has done a pretty good job of like detecting all those and kicking them all out. And then you'll see again on shout out Soul Links or shout out Sneaker Twitter or whatever, right?
So I don't like using the word fair, but would you generally say it's fair for everyone to cop? Because there are those moments where you just can't seem to, like, there's periods on sneakers where like you just get all of them, and then all of a sudden you just can't get anything. Would you say generally for the just regular consumer sneakerhead that just manually does it, has the app on his phone, is it fair for them?
I will say for a long time it wasn't fair at all, and it's still probably leaning that way, but it's getting much better than it was. Like in this last couple months, it's much better than it was back like a year ago. It was tough back then, and now I was able to buy Clay Yeezys on Kith using PayPal, and if you know, like on Shopify, which that's what Kith uses.
Right.
You have to check out right away, and when you go to Shopify, you have to log in, you have to do your stuff.
I hate all that.
Right, and you cycle back. Usually, PayPal is an automatic L, so I never do it. And I just did it that one time just to test it because I wanted to see if it would work or not, and sure enough, it did. So it only worked because every bot that was pointed at Kit that day was stuck in a queue or something. And I tweeted about this, that these bot developers should be panicking right now because, like, how did I buy this, right?
All right.
So that's why I say I think there is hope for the average person looking to buy something, but I don't know how this stuff works, how Shopify decides all that, or if this anti-bot stuff is on all the time or not. That part I don't know.
You think stuff like GOAT and StockX use bots and proxies and stuff and cops a lot of the stock?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's conspiracy theory lane.
See, I usually don't follow. I don't believe a lot of that stuff, but sometimes you'll look on those sites and like the day of the release, and it might be something that may not even be sold out on sneakers or whatever, but it'll say like they've already sold 5,000 pairs on StockX. And I'm like, what? Where is they getting these 5,000 from?
Yeah, well, backdooring in-store happens. That's
right.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these stores,
the majority of those sales are pre-release, though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like I tweeted this the other day, but it's worth I think repeating here. Someone tweeted like, why is it there's like some Adidas Captain Marvel shoe or something like that, or
garbage.
Well, yeah, whatever garbage that was, right? Like they're like, why is this under retail on StockX, right? So somebody probably went to a store and got them backdoored or said, hey, I'll buy all your bricks that you can't sell for, say, 40% off. The store got them for 50% wholesale price. And then that person went and sold it on StockX for, say, $10 under retail. He made, say, 15, 20%, let's say, and then StockX takes their cut. And the buyer gets it cheap. So basically, everyone's a winner in that scenario. The store gets rid of a brick, buyer gets it cheap, StockX gets a cut, seller gets a cut. So same thing happens on like a larger scale with, say, this Bred 4 release. maybe a store doesn't want to sell 500 Bred 4s. Maybe the only and then they could just like sell them to someone else. I don't know who does this, or
Right.
I'm more online guy than offline guy, but this is how it works.
Right.
They better sell me a size 12, or that's it. No?
So these, like, you said, like they might have are you typically talking about like somebody that might work at Nike or a store, let people know like something might drop? Or I'm kind of going through like a lot of the stuff you see on, like when people take a lot of L's on these apps and websites, they lose their minds. Like, and I've said this before, and I've been 100% serious about it. Like, some people like legitimately have PTSD when it comes to like copping off sneakers and stuff. Like they lose their minds.
Oh yeah. I saw you lose your mind when Union dropped.
Oh, that was different though. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is Union, like a Shopify site?
Yeah, that was Shopify.
Okay. Now, I've been told that I think the black.
Yeah, but your credit card declined like 2 or 3 times, right?
No, it didn't decline.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
right. I forgot what the issue was.
Error or whatever.
Is that what it was?
I don't mean decline because you didn't have any money.
Yeah.
What?
But it had like some type of. It was. I
couldn't even get through.
No.
So
okay, no. So what it said was it kept saying that I was a bot. It kept telling people that they were a bot. What was that?
I can explain that.
Okay. So
Shopify used the Shopify platform that's other companies develop plugins and things like that for it, right? And there's a plugin that store Union used called Human Presence, and so what that plugin is, the creators of that plugin say, "Oh, we will detect if you are a bot or not, and let you through or not." So what would happen? Like I bought Unions that day. And I was like through right away, like right through and out. And so I saw the human presence thing. You clicked the thing and it said, all right, continue on your way. But what happened was thousands and thousands of people after me were on it. And the way that plugin works is it calls an API on human presence servers. So you're calling this third party and you're saying, like, you're asking this third party, is this person a bot or not? And what happened, I'm pretty sure, is their API went down because of the amount of traffic. And so when the code is asking the API, are you a bot or not, and the bot's not respond, and the API is not responding, it's saying, oh, you're probably a bot. So then the message that displayed is not error, server cannot be reached. It was, we think you're a bot.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only choice with that was to just keep hammering it until they figured it out and the server went back up and you could get through.
See, I just kept trying. And I was getting, and you know what? I mean, it wasn't necessarily the process because seeing a message that indicates that they're trying to combat bots, that's always a plus, just being a sneakerhead in general. But it was something about, like, it was just the message in general. It was like snarky. Yeah. Like, it was like, like, gotcha. Like, you think.
Yeah. Voice and tone is important. Like, and you see this on any website. Like, look at StockX. The voice and tone on that site is like a dude with a hat backwards talking to you. Hey, yo, chill, bro. You sure you want this ask? Right? Like, and
emails are like that.
Yeah, that's how that company's decided the voice and tone that they're going to use, right? So, and if they get it wrong, you like how Human Presence clearly did, you're not in the mood to have some guy saying, "Yo, bro, slow your roll there. We think you're a bot." Right?
Is it the same process on like Adidas for Yeezy in the queue? Yeah,
Adidas is a little different with the queue thing. For bots that work on that, most of them, what they do is they just bombard it with different instances, same kind of thing as before.
Okay.
You can do this right now by just using 2 different browsers. It'll think you're 2 different people then. Bots just automate that and make it like split that out by 100. And then as soon as one is through the queue, then it'll just start focusing on that one and try to check out. I tell people, if you want to get through the queue, just don't open multiple tabs, open multiple browsers.
Oh, see, I told somebody that, but I had no idea if that was true. I just thought I was just giving some type of knowledge.
Yeah.
And
The thing,
Yeah, I bet you was giving
no,
knowledge.
because on Adidas, I was always getting all the Yeezys off Adidas, all of them.
and there were some jigs for Adidas a while back. The biggest one, people listening, they'll probably know. It was called the locale jig. You could switch. You could say you're on Adidas .ca and then change it to .us.com. And then when in that flip, when you change like countries, it would let you through the queue. And so I was able to buy a bunch like that, and like accidentally, because I'm in Canada. So and so I thought I had a magic browser or a magic phone that was like letting me through, but then I figured out later that's why I was able to do it. And then the people who figured that out bought tons of pairs of those early 350s.
What do you think the timeline for this stuff to like last is? Like, how much longer do you think all of this will still be, or will it just continue to advance and beat whatever companies have to throw at them?
Like there's money involved, right? Like people are making a lot of money selling these bots, right? And there's people making money selling proxies and things like that. So there's always going to be some way. I think Shopify got interested in fighting bots just because it probably destabilized their platform. Like if Shopify goes down, so some Joe Blow seller selling their wood chips or whatever on some site is not working because of some sneaker dudes, right? Then they're interested in making sure that that person is not affected. I don't think bots are going to be totally gone. Another thing I was going to mention is I don't think a lot of stores mind bots, right? It's easy. It's no nonsense for them.
So they want sell through.
Yeah, like I don't think Kith really cared about bots until one day they did, right? Until that anti-bot intelligence post went out. Before that, they would ship multiples, same address. No one was checking through anything. And now, Kith is interested. And so there might be stores that are interested and there might be stores that are not interested at all. So there'll always be something. Like Foot Locker, for example. I haven't bought anything off Foot Locker since Baron Ones. That was 2014. Right?
I've never bought anything off Foot Locker.
Yeah, this morning there was a restock of the Spider-Man ones.
Yo, I tried that. Okay, so
yeah.
I tried that on eBay. Like I was like, all right, I'll try to get a pair for my son or whatever. And those are probably all spoken for or cooked. Like soon as the time went out,
Phantom, and people just point the SKU for that shoe at it, and Foot Locker doesn't care. Foot Locker has never cared. It doesn't seem like it, right?
East Bay too, or is that all the same?
Yeah, East Bay, Foot Locker, Champs are all the same. Foot Action.
Is it even effective to click the link in Twitter? So like when a J23, I don't know if that matters or anything, but a few people yesterday kept telling me, yo, you should have copied the link, then put it in the browser, and you would have definitely copped Travis Scott's versus clicking the link in the Twitter app. I don't know if you know anything about stuff like that or.
No, it's the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can set your Twitter to open straight into Safari or in the little mini browser within Twitter. But both of them are Safari.
Oh, okay.
There's no difference that way.
I was trying to think of something else I wanted to ask you.
Actually, why is this brings up what I think is a relevant point. Why is Shopify been kind of anointed as the go-to? Is Shopify the only company that exists that does what they do, or?
No, there's a couple different ones. I think it's probably just it's kind of big
easy
platform. Sorry.
No, I just said cheap and easy. I mean, is that the main? Because it does. It is kind of weird that so many of these sneaker shops use Shopify, and some of them I'm sure have their own interface or whatnot. But
Yeah, and it's just the biggest one out there. Like there's always going to be a number one. It's got a platform you can buy. You can have different themes for it. There's developers that will create themes for you that know it. It's the same as like if you're starting a blog, WordPress is like the number one known one out there, but there's other ones as well too.
Gotcha.
You can basically buy a Shopify and have a site up in a second, right? And there's other ones that do it too, but this one that has vendor support and all kinds of other stuff, and they do a good job.
You consider yourself a sneakerhead? We haven't asked you like anything other than about bots and proxies. Like you really into sneakers? Like,
oh man, my cop list is like simple, like worthy. It's like that's how long it usually is. And I mentioned it before. I don't bot. I do resell, and I usually just resell stuff that's on sale, like George, right? And I use that money to pay for the stuff that I do want. But yeah, I'm definitely a sneakerhead. I love sneakers. Like any good sneaker, I do not resell.
So then you getting Jordan 4s in?
Marty has them.
I
already got them.
I already got
them.
Fucker. And he's the same size as me too, and won't sell me anything.
Yeah, sell a proxy.
I don't need a proxy. I need what he's been copping over the last 2 years. He kept on saying, "Oh, you get married, you saving for the wedding."
Yeah, saving for the wedding. Man.
I will say, like when on Twitter and stuff, it seems like even if you don't cop.
Oh yeah, you always a jerk too with that like share your win, share your got him. I don't ever share that screen.
I don't either.
Basically, I think the more you interact with the Nike sneakers app, the better chance you get.
Damn, you dropping the wild gems, fam.
You should
so if you like,
I'm gonna do that and delete the tweet.
Dang it, man! Now I gotta be corny and put some
create a burner account and tweet it there.
I need to make another account anyways on sneakers.
Right. You know what the good thing is? I tell people all this stuff, all my secrets to buying, and people usually don't listen anyways. So people will probably forget everything I've said in this podcast anyways. So
this is what's funny. So a lot of people on Twitter, like stuff that you post, a lot of times it's never really like you have to really understand sometimes the stuff you post. Like it'll be a tip or something, but it comes off as snarky sometimes. So it just kind of seems like a person on Twitter just being a certain way. But if you knowing you and seeing you on Twitter for so much, some of those I can tell they mean something. Like I saw the post about like the Captain Marvels and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, like it kind of opened my eyes. Like right, like there's a lot of other things that a lot of people just don't understand, and they might not even take advantage of that knowledge that they see, because like you said, like those bricks and stuff like that, they're gonna move them somehow.
Yeah. No, I love sneakers. I like tweeting about stuff, and I don't care who gets it or not. Either you get it,
right?
If you know, kind of thing. But yeah, people are out there saying the same thing over again, getting paid by the same people, and I think it's fine to have a different voice out there. And I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not trying to get a bag from some crappy clothing company, right?
Well, that's good because I know we ain't. Now, if I'm not gonna wear it, I'm definitely not trying to get. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, let me give you the list of sneakers I bought. I wrote it down too in case I was in the first segment.
Yeah. What's up? You got any cops? You got
might
any cops?
Might as well do pickups.
What you got?
Yeah, this is my pickups list.
All
right. I got the Reebok Alien Stomper Mid.
Those suck. You actually wear those?
I don't know. The box is cool. It's like it's this huge. Like,
you're not one of those guys, are you? You're too advanced to be wowed by the box, bro.
No, I just love the movie ever since this is.
Okay, that's different.
It scared the shit out of me, so I always.
That's different. See, people that bought the Alien Stompers were like, "Yeah, I just like the movie. It's just nostalgia. I get it." But the shoe itself, and I love Reebok, are awful. The best thing about the pack, it came with 2 shoes. That's it in the box.
All right, so and I got Bred 4s. I got 2 pairs of those already. I sold them, and I'm going to use the money from that to get my pair at retail for cheap. I got the Susan Air Max 1 from the Leica site.
What's that like to say?
That's the name of the film studio. They released it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the actual site. The link I sent you on Simple about here. This I totally forgot about it.
So, like, did you just cop? Is that one you used? Like, you knew it was dropping notifications?
Well, they tweeted it out, and so, or had it on Instagram or something. And so then that day, all I did was, and I should explain what Sockjig means. A Sockjig is basically a pre-cart. You add something to your cart before a drop, and then you bookmark that last page, the checkout page, and then when you can either, usually it's a pair of socks or something cheap. You can keep them in your cart or you can delete them. It's up to you. And then when the real release comes, you add it to cart and then you click your bookmark and it goes straight to that last page. You have everything. You have a plugin to kind of pre-fill everything, and then you hit checkout. So when that dropped, I basically did like 3 clicks: size, add to cart, clicked bookmark, then click place order. So I was probably done in like 7 seconds, which is probably the same speed as bots.
So, and that's what we were talking about, that the day that you were had checked that out. I've always done that: add to cart, open up a second browser window, remove it from the cart, whatever. I've never done the bookmark procedure before because I didn't think that would work.
Same thing.
Right.
You can have it in a different tab and delete it out of the other tab. It's the same thing.
So you're bookmarking, essentially what the website is bookmarking is the link of you in the cart with something checking out, basically, right? Or
like when you,
in layman's terms, I guess.
Yeah, when you check out on these Shopify sites, you can see the URL is like checkout / and then it's a big like ID. That's the ID for your session. Each person checking out has the same one. So in the same session, the socks are going to be in the same session as the actual sneaker drop. So that's why Shopify wants you to, it's trying to make it easy for an average buyer so they don't have to go back to step 1. So they go directly to the checkout page. They're trying to incentivize people to buy faster instead of making them jump through hoops, right? That's the real reason why it skips ahead. So that's all I do. That's how I call. That's why I say I don't use bots. I'm not trying to get 20 pairs of everything. I'm just trying to usually get one.
Why don't you take advantage of that?
There's a thing in, like, if you're into reselling, there's always a point where, are you ready to scale up, right?
Right.
It went from I'm buying one and I'm selling one, and then I'm buying 3 and I'm gonna keep one, and then it's like, I don't want one at all. I'm gonna sell all 3. And then there's levels. You can keep going, right? Like all of a sudden you got a bot. Now you have to get a server, or Proxies, and I'm not interested in that way. I'm more interested in just having sneakers for cheap. So I don't have the time to be packaging up 30 pairs of Susan ones, for example, right? I'd rather just have the one.
How do those Susan B. Anthony's look in hand? What them joints called?
Susan B. Anthony.
Air Max 1 Susan. They're pretty good.
I liked them, like the pics, but I don't know. I kind of think they might be a little tacky. I don't know how to wear those.
You got to wear like Ryan Swanger pants, I think.
I think that might be too much. You wear Swanger pants. He needs to come out with a line of pants. That'd actually be kind of dope. I said it here first.
You should just change to all pants Instagram. That's it.
He should. What else you grabbing? What else you grab?
Oh, I got the Earth Day ones, Air Force ones, just to check out the fly leather, and those are hard to cop too. I got the Medicine Ball Air Trainer 3
on sneakers. That was hard.
Yeah, on sneakers, that one was pretty tough to get.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I when I looked on StockX or whatever, they looked like they were retail on there.
No, I think they're all flipping. They were retail like 110 and they're reselling for 200, 250, I think.
Maybe I wasn't looking at the Air Max, or you said Air Force One. Maybe I was looking at the other model. Was that the only model of that pack that sold, resold?
Yeah, only the Air Force One.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense then. Maybe I didn't look at that one.
This is what George does on Twitter. He messages me to see asks what's flipping or not.
Whatever.
George be doing some sneaky stuff. Man. George be doing some secret side conversations he don't fill me in on. Man.
I think there's been like 1 or 2 shoes I've done that on, and one of the ones I did that on, I bought, and it's now worth nothing.
Which one was that?
The one we were talking about earlier.
Social Study 6s?
Yeah, that. Horsehair 6.
I'm glad you guys.
All right. Yeah, now you want to be a hater now.
Them Horsehair Social Studies 6. Whatever them joints called. What's it called? Social Society? Those 6s might be one of the worst sneakers of all time. Man. Social status. Whatever. What else you grabbed?
I got those dog walker ones. That's a pretty interesting shoe. I'm not really an SB guy, but those ones I'll probably flip.
You should have sold those already.
Yeah. And then I got the Air Raids and the Air Mock as well too.
Oh my god!
And the last one here's the proof that I'm a real sneakerhead. I bought the Patrick Ewing Ace Ventura Mosh.
No, you didn't.
Come on, man.
Shoe. Yesterday.
We just got done making fun of that before we called you.
Okay, you follow Mosh, I'm sure.
That's
right?
not a dad shoe, by the way. That's I don't even know what a bad shoe. I don't know what to call it.
I don't mind the Ewing shoe. I like the Ewing shoe. I'm too short. I'm too short to wear Ewing.
That shoe is taller than you, man.
You're right. That's why I don't think the shoe.
So you can't say I don't mind it. It's tall. The entire shoe weighs more than you do.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I don't like the way the shoe looks. I like the shoe. I'm just too short.
Would you wear this table on your foot outside? Because it's the same size.
I mean, if I was 9 feet tall, now, if I was your height, I'd wear Ewings. Nothing wrong with a Ewing shoe. Now, you follow Sockjig. Sounds crazy. You follow Mosh or Mache, what his name is, right?
Yeah, I've seen his work.
Okay,
I'm more a fan of the movie than I am of.
Okay. Okay, well then that's fine. Then. Well, you could do that then because.
Yeah, but see, what we had talked about is like. Are they coming out with a new one? Because the movie's not relevant. I mean, listen, I shouldn't say it's not relevant. If it's on TV, we're going to watch it because it's funny. But it's not like in the sneaker realm, it's been a relevant thing the last 20 years. I mean...
I bought the shoe because, I know it's going to be hard to wear. But I'm 6'2". I'm tall. I can do it. I'm fine. I bought it because, it was cheap. It was $140. It's so weird. It's it was well done. It says like Einhorn and
bruh, size 12 size 12 in that shoe the box gotta be gigantic. Has it shown up yet? Or was
no, I just did it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I bought it last night and it shipped this morning. And then I'll probably wear it once or twice and throw it in the pile. I don't know. Next time I go to Hawaii, I'll take it.
Maybe I
Hawaii.
Maybe I don't know if I should out you, but where did it ship to? Let me just ask you that.
Oh, I live in Vancouver, and I usually ship everything to Washington State.
Yeah, see, I didn't know if he wanted that out there because he ships to 2 different places. So
yeah.
All right.
So you going for the Raptors?
No, I'm aware of the Raptors, but I'm not a huge fan.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the Velociraptors.
I don't know. No, I didn't know if he's a Raptors fan. He's in Canada. I mean, it's close.
Bro, when you see that box, like they're going to roll up the back of the UPS truck and the box is going to be half the truck.
2 shipments.
One shoe in each truck.
Well, that's what I was joking. I was like, you guys always hate everything. And I was more like, when I listen to the podcast, I'm more like simple. I just buy everything.
Okay. Okay. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, but Simple buys stuff that you can't resell. I don't think you doing that. At least as much as him.
See, okay. I've been getting this a lot lately,
I bought a lot of trash on sneakers, by the way, and it has not helped me buy stuff that's not trash.
I'm gonna ask you, considering the nice things you said about us on the beginning of the podcast. You said you like our show and stuff. Do we always sound like we hate everything?
No. I know you don't actively hate it. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. I do.
Oh yeah, but there's been a couple people I've been talking to lately, and they've been like, "You guys are the most negative people ever," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
I don't like that." Because we're not.
You even did that crazy.
I'm not.
You even did that crazy speech where you tried to be super nice on that one episode, the first 15 minutes of the show.
Super nice.
And I was looking at you like you're nuts.
No.
Why are you being nice to these people, dude?
No.
Nerds.
I like to provide more. I'm trying to provide more explanation to things why I don't like something. all LeBron 15.
Oh no,
to
but you were
now,
like literally saying all podcasts should get along, and
that's different.
I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
No, see, that was
I hate
different.
them all.
No, that was different because there's a lot of stuff going on that you don't know about because you don't be in it, so you don't know about it.
You might be
so
right
that's
about
different.
that, but they still know I hate them. So
That's a little different.
That's all that matters.
All right. Well,
You know, like I'm usually more like there's a someone for this shoe, like this like I love the Ace Ventura movie. The shoe is like, it's a tank.
the what?
And so and I already know I'll only probably wear it once, and it was cheap and free shipping. That's why I got it.
Wait, what?
But the Ewing Ace Ventura
okay.
one, right? But there's someone for it. Like I see on Twitter, you guys make fun of up tempos or something like that.
No, I make fun of like up tempos. They just will not let it end. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
And if I tweeted as well, those are huge resale in Japan. Japan loves up tempos.
there is nobody in Japan big enough to be wearing up tempos. All right.
So what I mean is, you guys can say a shoe sucks, and I'll be like, I might not think it sucks, but I'm not going to buy it either. It might be it sucks but doesn't suck category for me.
Sucks, but it doesn't suck. I'll tell you one thing that you did say that sucks, and those Fear of God moccasins. Those suck. Okay. If the top of the shoe doesn't touch your ankle, that's weird. All right.
I think it's meant to wear with because even those tearaways that come with it are super baggy.
Wait a minute.
It's probably meant to be covered up anyways.
Man, them tearaways are ridiculous. I mean, if you don't play sports, if you have no reason to tear them away, I don't get why they tear away. Who needs tearaway pants if you're not needed to tear them away? Like, I don't get it. The point of tearaway is to like get in the game quick, not to walk around town like if it gets really hot. Right?
I'm all for baggy clothing coming back.
No.
No. Let's take it easy. You must want bootcut True Religions to come back too.
Yeah.
I used to love bootcut True Religions, bro. I used to wear.
You still do.
No,
You do.
No,
You've
liar.
literally fought for him on this show, and we've only been doing this like 3 years or whatever.
That's a lie. I was wearing
No, it's
bootcut.
not a lie.
I was wearing bootcut True Religion jeans in the club before I was married, so that's a fact lie. I fought for bootcut True Religion jeans when you tried to say Jim Jones wasn't one of the best dressed ever.
Oh, yeah, he's trash.
No, now he's trash.
He's been trash. You literally made this argument like literally a year ago or a year and a half ago. That's not that long ago.
I said Jim Jones is one of the best dressed rappers of all time. Facts.
No.
Today, he dresses awful because he's still trying to wear bootcut jeans with Air Force Ones.
Exactly.
Trash. I wasn't fighting for him. I was fighting for him.
No, you still standing for him and those pants. Despite the fact that you don't own any, you still standing for those.
I gave all my True Religions away
You
to
couldn't
the
even
homies.
say it right. Yeah,
I
okay.
did. I cut some of them and have to make shorts. So, but they still too baggy. If you could cut some boot cuts and you make boot cut shorts, that's crazy.
And you still wear cowboy boots with them.
The only one who should be wearing jean shorts is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I wear jean shorts.
Are you Steve Austin?
I know, but he's a close friend of mine.
There you go. Now I'm a hater too.
Yeah, you sound like a hater too. All right, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. We got to actually get out of here. Here's another podcast waiting to come in here.
Let me say shout out to Geej, that's the monitor I'm in. Shout out to Showers, that's my cook group. Shout out to RH and Bucci as well too.
All right, sounds good, man. We appreciate it.
We'll do a longer segment at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's my other tip too. Like, have a group of friends. Have if one of them's in the monitor or something like that, have them tweet it out to you guys. Create a group chat. That's the way to go. Like, have a circle of friends. They send you, you send them, and people generally do this anyways. But the more organized you are, the better chances you have.
No, you just tell them to add us to the Discord or Slack group, or whatever it is, and that's it.
Background check.
I mean, I'll pay a one-time fee. I ain't paying every month. You smoking rocks. So.
Oh, I only pay in sneakers, though. That's my only currency.
All right.
I can't use
or on a credit. Never mind.
I pay. Man, chill. I pay in G-Shock watches and sneakers, and
DM
snapback hats.
You definitely paying snapbacks.
No, I remember everybody on Craigslist. You post a sneaker for sale. Yo, you take a G-Shock and some snapbacks. My shorts. You think I'm about to take some snapbacks and a G-Shock watch for a Jordan 5? Eat my shorts. All right, man. We appreciate you coming on. We're gonna definitely keep you on here a longer time then.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
All right,
All right, later.
All right, bye.
All right. See ya.
You gonna end the show?
Oh, we appreciate Sockjig coming on. That's the homie. Hope you guys learned a lot. Some of you probably got angry. Some of you probably maybe learned something. If not, appreciate you chilling with us, listening to us, liking, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let's sneak this. Pow, 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 pow.